Hey, screeners, how you doing? It's me, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
Who's in first today? And it is me too, Nico Lurot. Shout out to all of the silver screen dudes. What up, film family?
How is everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Guys, irrelevant of your initial standpoint, we are in a world that has to... I was going to say we're in the UK, but I think the world has recognized this. So I would like to just kick it off with, again, irrelevant of your standpoint, it's a public figure has passed. So I would just like to put a message of RIP to Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away last week. So that's one of those things that we have to do. Now, bro, I told you prior that I got triggered at work. And I will share it with you here because we didn't have enough time to share it just before we pressed the record button. So, as many people were, I'm aware that the Queen was of ill health on the day that she passed. So this message is up, and it happens to be on work, and we're looking at it and like, the question's coming out. How long do you do you think she'll come back? Like, how long do you think she's got? How long do you think she'll hang in there? And it's not in a disrespectful way. It's just the news doesn't highlight it as much as it does this way. Like, it's all over the news. The Queen is in health, like ill health. Like, you see Prince Philip, he went into hospital, he came out, he goes back in. This is that. And I'm at work and handling some functions, and one of my colleagues says to me, "Ant, the Queen has died." I am like, whoa. Like, when you look at it, this is a figure who's not only been a public figure for 70 years. When you look at it, it's like it's a game changer. Like, as long as I've known the monarchy, it's just been the Queen. Then you start to think like, oh my God, our money changes. Like, it's weird, the certain things that you start to think of, like, this is a weird place. Oh wow, so Prince Charles is no longer Prince Charles, he's King Charles. Like, there were so many questions going in.
King Charles III.
I hear that, and I'm not against it. Yes, he is King Charles I, but how many times did we go Queen Elizabeth II? We just acknowledged her as Queen Elizabeth, then we went into the second. So much so that we even called her the Queen, So I'm getting to a point where I'd like to acknowledge him as the King. Let it be that. That's who he is. Like, we don't.
That's fine too. I'm all for that.
Bro, it's just something that my mind has been processing. Anyway, so now I don't want to put this guy on blast, but here's a statement that's happened.
Put him on blast, bruv.
I've seen a co-worker who has said, "Oh,
name."
No. I will not go that far because there's a certain professionalism I've got to maintain because I have work colleagues watching, right?
Okay. Well, I swear down, you told me something off air that means that level of professionalism has long passed.
The prick that comes after, whose name I can't mention because I don't know it. Right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this colleague says, "Oh, I believe that means we get a bank holiday." Now, he has said this in front of some Hispanic co-workers that we have. He has now gone down the stairs. Now, may I mention, this guy is very British, right? He's of Italian heritage, but he's British. You see him, you would not guess. I get some twat from across the road, goes, "Do you people have no fucking respect?" But I've just come up the stairs, so I've not heard him say this. I've just let this guy know that the Queen has passed. "Do you have no respect?" So I'm like, "So what's the problem?" I've just passed some news on. I thought he's having a go at me. No. These guys over there are saying, "Oh, the Queen has died, bank holiday." I've looked over to them. Now, these are very Hispanic people. When I say this, I'm talking in the sense that they've heard some information. English isn't a first language to them. They're like, "Huh? What?" They're like, "True." So he goes, they said, "Yes, bank holiday." I've looked at them like, "Guys," and they're like, "No, Anthony." And I guarantee you, when you believe someone, you believe them. Yeah? No, it's not that. So I'm like, what? Okay. Yeah.
You've looked at the guys. What, the security guys?
No, this is just a guy. This is just a guy on the boat.
No, but who is it? Who is it you've turned to say like?
Oh, the Hispanic one. They're putting it for their glass collectors. I don't want to get into their role, but that's what they are. They're members of staff, but they're glass collectors. So I'm like, well, they've looked at me like, no, we have not celebrated. We've not made a joke of anything. So much so that even after, they've come back to me and they're like, "Is it true? Has she really died?" This is how unaware they were of the whole situation. This guy's like, "Oh, you guys, you have no respect." Yeah? What was his line? This boat was brought here so people, where he works, across the road, I'm not going to get into it, could celebrate and party here. So if you guys don't have any respect, you pricks can fuck off. At which point I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, no need to be so disrespectful." Right? And he's like, "No need to be so disrespectful. Have you just heard what I've told you?" So listen, I appreciate what you're saying, and I will deal with that. But I've come and asked you what the problem is, and you're calling me a prick and telling me to fuck off from this country. right? Oh, don't try and twist it. I said, twist what? You have told me to fuck off and called me a prick to my face. Are you a manager? I said, yes, I am. Oh, what's your name? Anthony. Anthony what? Anthony Jordan. I said, sorry, that was me, Anthony Jordan. Ah, you people. Whoa. Excuse me? You what? What do you mean by you people? What are you trying to
What
tell
do
me?
you mean, you people?
Yeah, what do you mean by you people? I beg you, please tell me, what do you mean by you people? Because as far as I'm concerned, and I'm getting into it, I was born here. So what are we talking about? I've just told you there's a situation that I will deal with. Then you call us pricks, which I've dealt with. It goes a tad further that you want to talk about you people. What the fuck do you mean by you people? At which point security have come around now. And they're like, Anthony, calm down. I was like, no. There is no calm down. This prick needs to fucking explain himself. What do you mean about you people? There's a certain level of disrespect. I'm not going to have disrespect about a royal who's just passed. I don't give a shit where you work. Don't you dare come to me with that kind of talk. No. You're trying to twist it. Twist what? Twist what? And eventually he ends up apologizing. But I was this close that I was like, it was, yeah. Decking season was about to take.
Wonder if you meant you people by the place where you work, people.
That's what he spun it to. He's like, no, the human, like the people who work here. And I was like, from the fact that you can tell people you can leave this country, you people, while looking at me. So don't even say to me like over there. You will spin it and be like, oh, don't try and spin it. You know what I meant. What did you mean, my friend? Because you haven't had a go at the guy who said it.
Right on.
You've taken it to some people of a very Hispanic origin, where I'm saying you could tell by their tan. They ain't.
Órale ese.
Yeah. And followed by the fact that you're talking to a black guy with dreadlocks and saying, "You people, I'll bring it on." Even so far, they were like,
feels like a spider.
Oh, I was triggered as hell though. That's for anyone wondering, that was my Clash at the Castle in Cardiff experience. Yeah, so
you took that like a champion. That was racism, but without malicious. I've never seen it before.
It was something you're unfamiliar with, so it's that. And this is the difference. You can tell me that. And I'm
not black people in the valley.
What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? No, right? No. We're cool. We were joking. We were having a good time. That's that. That's how we go. But this one, ooh, was I triggered?
This didn't go down well with AJ.
No.
Gavin Man says I'm with angry AJ.
Trust me, even security were like, bro, like the head doorman was like, "You're right, gangster." What you mean? He's like, "I have never seen you get that angry. I have never seen you not being willing to get calmed down." I was like, "Did you not hear what he said?" Security was like, "At first I thought he was a booking that was pissed off." I was like, "I am not gonna get that angry with a man who's pissed off that he didn't get his conclusions." Do you know what I mean? This is some serious. This is some serious trigger shit. And they were like, "Yeah, no. Had we heard it, we would have just kicked him right off." I would.
Francis Lalonde's here and says, "Love AJ's John Cleese anger."
He could have gone a lot deeper than John Cleese. I'll tell you that, bro.
Oh, dearie me. I'm going to give you a jolly good thrashing, you bastard. Oh, dear. Very good. So do you know what annoys me about all this, right? Is that, I mean, moving us away from the whole you people, because there's no defending that shit. What I found brutally hurtful about the last week or so, because I just like the record to show I am not a royalist.
Well, do you know the funny thing is, prior to this, like there's some stuff that we've got planned, and we talked about it as well. We've never, we acknowledge a head of state, but we aren't royalists by any means. And I'm not going to change the fact now that someone's passed.
Here's the thing. My grandmother, this is what she told me on the family WhatsApp group. She was like, she cried when they played God Save the Queen. Apparently, she was at home by herself, stood up and sang God Save the Queen. You know, for the older generation, like the royal family is a big deal. Yeah. Like, I'll be real. Here's where my sadness extended. I was sad that a human life was lost. I was sad for all of her family who have lost a mother, a grandmother, a matriarch of the family. I was sad for all of the people in England who do feel something for her and who have that association because they're sad. And I don't want people to be sad. I want people to be happy, right? Me personally, I was okay. Like, the Queen hasn't elevated or changed my life in any way. But am I sad that a human life has gone? Of course. And what I cannot stand, not naming names, but some next level ignoramus motherfuckers out there who think this is the time to be firing shots, who think this is the time to let it be known that I'm not a royalist. Also, fuck the Queen. It's like, no, this is not the time. Yeah. And I'm not going to go deeper than that out of respect, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know where you're going. And look, I've seen a lot of stuff from people distant and close. And I'm like, again, to you, it's more of a social impact. As I said to you, it's what it means. Now, I acknowledge the royal family purely for tourism. I'm not going to disrespect anything
100%. 100%.
It's an attraction for the UK, and I embrace it because hey, it keeps us going. You know, it was actually a really cool moment to be there during the Platinum
Jubilee. Yeah,
like there were some great moments from it. Am I one?
Fuck the Jubilee. The event itself, what it signified, was historic. Look, you got to realize this is a woman who was sovereign for. She's the longest reigning monarch of all time.
Bro, I get it.
At this point, it doesn't fucking matter if you like the royal family or not. Some respect has to be shown to that, because this is the same way that Hitler's death has to be, like acknowledged as a moment. I always pull for Hitler because it usually makes people stand up and pay attention. I'm not aligning the Queen to Hitler, for fuck's sake. But I'm like, Hitler's death, important historical moment. Queen's death, important historical moment. These are people, in his case, for the wrong reasons. In her case, mostly, I would like to think, for the right. She seemed like a very good woman. She seemed like a nice person. I didn't have any issues with her.
Listen, along the way, you hear stories, you hear about royal privilege, but it's an entitlement that's been bestowed upon them. You know,
you mean the royal privilege? You mean that thing that comes with being a fucking royal?
Well, I get it. But
that's like being angry at a schoolboy who went to Eton. It's like, oh, look at you and your Eton education. It's like, I'm fucking sorry I got educated. I hate that fucking new wave hypocrisy that the woke generation have brought.
No. It goes into some of the entitlements that it's. I don't want to go into it.
They're fucking royals. Do you want to see entitlement? Go to France in the 15th century. That's some entitled shit.
Listen, this is what I'm saying, but there are certain practices that follow that regime that I wouldn't entirely agree with. Now, I'm not going to go deep because I don't want to seem anti-royal or anarchist at this point. Do you understand? You're
talking about Jeff Ross and his whole no shit Detective Markle. This is 100-year-old white family.
This is it. It goes. It's that and deeper and beyond. Do you know what I mean? Sure. I can go into stories that I've heard even from those in the Caribbean. My granddad growing up, for instance, and what it meant for people, and the fact that you've literally got people fainting because they're waiting at standing at attention. Like there are certain parts, but that's just practices and protocols that people follow. I can't directly blame the Queen for it, but
practices and protocols that people follow, and also I believe very much a pomp of a bygone era.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's certain changes that you would like to have seen happen, but you can't blame the person at the head of the institution for it.
Not only can you not blame the person at the head of the institution for it, I still repeatedly say you cannot smear a person with a brush that was tarnished 50, 60 years ago. Case in point, let's bring it back to entertainment. Do you like the show Fawlty Towers?
Yes.
Are you aware it is racist as fuck?
Yes. I've talked about it on pod where I still find it quite interesting.
When the general drops the N-bomb and it's like...
the N-bomb is not bleeped by any means. And you're like, whoa, okay, so we're...
Churchill wasn't a... Nope.
Whoa, okay, yeah.
What now?
Yeah, so it's part of that. So I get it and I can understand why people get frustration. But to me... Here we go. There are some very, very deep-rooted conspiracy theories, and I'm not talking of the past.
Let's have fun with this, shall we?
Years. I'm talking way beyond. I'm talking about where people talk about what affiliation of worship people get into, and we're talking like Freemasons and beyond. And I'm like, if that's your belief,
play too much Assassin's Creed.
Listen. There are some who've never even touched this game but have these beliefs, and this is why these games.
Are these the same people who believe that the vaccine was a 5G injection?
Well, this is it. There are so many conspiracy theories out there that there are certain points that you need to stop and look. Now, if you are that anti-royalist, and in this country, I would suggest you were, and I don't say it to agree with the prick.
Do what the guy said.
Yeah, but if
you people get the fuck out.
But let's be honest, why are you spending the currency that has her face on it if you aren't?
Why are you keeping it in your pocket so close to your bits?
Well, this is it. So I listen, I understand that people could be of mixed followings to this and mixed emotions on this. I'm just a person that, above all, I respect life.
Yes.
Right? And
unless your name is New Jack, and that is a wrestling quote for you.
There is actually one actor who I still think is really like, there was one trigger point of an actor for me that I just really
Will Ferrell.
No, I do not. I don't wish for his acting to
I was going to say I don't like the guy, but that's deep.
I don't know why. But I find Kevin Spacey some of the worst piece of scum to walk this planet. I don't know why. He triggers me in a way that
It's really pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
But aside from these sort of situations, I even then I don't wish death on the guy, and I still take a time to acknowledge. I think
it's not about not wishing death. I don't think it's fucking right to celebrate someone dying.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's the key point. That's the key point. And I don't want to drag this too much longer because there's a podcast to go on with. But yeah, like put it this way, I prefer. It goes back to an old Will Smith song that I heard. If you don't have anything to say, don't say nothing. So just shut the fuck up. If you have nothing,
ding dong, don't say nothing.
Do you know what I mean? Just leave it at that.
That reference, didn't you?
Yeah, just leave it.
Then the text say he definitely got that reference. How are you people doing? Billy Mount's also here. Hey, Nico and AJ.
Hey,
Pedro Santos in the house. Opa,
Pedro.
opa, Mr. Pedro. Who else have we got here? Gavin Mann says, very poignant moment when Hugh Edwards announced it live on the news. You could tell that he himself was trying to comprehend what he was saying to the nation. This may be a stretch, but much like 9/11, I reckon in 20 years' time, we're all going to remember where we were when the Queen died.
Oh, yeah. I was saying that to someone. I was saying that. And I say this respectfully, and please, anyone don't think I'm wishing death on anyone, right? As we've just said, longest reigning monarch. Now, and I say this respectfully, Charles is 73 years old. Yeah. We may be in a time, and I don't wish death on anyone, and I touch wood for long life on my end, that we may see another changing of monarchs. Now, it's weird to think that from 1 minute you've known the Queen for all your life, you may see from Charles to William in no time. Do you know what I mean? Or for instance, Leia is pretty much guaranteed to see King William. Like it's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just life. But it's weird. There are. I've kind of lost track of where I am.
That's my daughter, by the way, in case you're wondering who Leia is, people.
It's these weird moments of life that you're like, this is a game changer. This is a game changer.
It is.
Charles will be big, but it's where you were the moment that the longest reigning monarch of all time passed away. Where were you? What were you doing? No. How did that news get broken to you?
Mm-hmm.
It's big.
Harry's boys here. Evening, gents. Evening, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Harry. Pedro Santos says, disagree with Nico here. This is exactly the time to respectably share your points of view on what a monarch and their colonialism represents. So, that word you've put in bold, respectably, this is the whole crux of the argument. My beef this last week is, I love to say this, AJ, the disrespect. The fucking disrespect shown by people. It's like, it's really made me think, wow, people are real trash. Because you can have your views to air them in a way where you're marking out like you're happy about someone dying. I'm like, whoa, you're quite scummy, aren't you?
I've found that there are 3 different types of people. Mainly in this country, because I think it's more poignant in this country than anywhere else. Those like your grandmother who really cared. Those like us who are indifferent. And those who cannot stand the royal family with a passion that they will celebrate it. And it's
Liverpool.
It's weird. It's
Scousers, they don't like the Queen. It's a terrible Scouser accent.
I wouldn't put, that was terrible. But I wouldn't even put that on the whole of like Liverpool.
Yes, I would. Liverpool and Everton at games, when God Save the Queen comes on, boo it. So actually, I would say exactly that. Where you from, mate? Are you not from around here? We don't like the Queen here. That was better.
but still bad. But again, it's I remain.
Here's some African for you. You know what? Fuck you, yeah.
No, please reference that with South African, because that is not.
Yeah, a bit of Afrikaans for you there, my lad. Eh? Fuck off. Now carry on with what you were saying.
I'm just saying, I'm not putting the whole of Liverpool on that. Those who feel it, feel it. Those who don't. But can we just?
If you boo at a Liverpool game, that's on you.
Can we just?
Word 789 is here. Hello. Gavin Mann says, bit of a difference between Eton and other places of education in the UK. Oh, yes. Who else have we got here? Billy Mount says, I really want to get into Fawlty Towers and bottom of the British comedy shows.
Fawlty Towers, yes. Bottom, not so much. And I've not, I mean, this goes back to my Guest House Paradiso from a couple of weeks ago. It's just not as great. Fawlty Towers, I believe, is a timeless.
It is.
Comedy.
It is. Also a time capsule with some of the N-bombs that drops in it.
For sure. But, you take those, I mean, look, there's references to the war. There's all sorts in it that's not great. But it's something to appreciate. Fawlty Towers has a lot to appreciate. Very well written comedy.
Francis DeLon says, I'm with Illuminati. Ha! Well played. And no, Billy Mount, I have not watched The Brady Bunch in answer to your question.
Are we talking film or TV series? I have actually seen the film.
Either.
Couple of episodes.
Pedro Sanctos says, it's certainly the time to educate people on what monarchs truly represent and do, on what they've supported throughout the years. Educate them by all means, but I stand by what I said. Don't smear people with a brush that's 60 years old with paint that's 60 years old.
Well, the thing is, you say that, but then some would say she was a monarch for 70 years. So there was a good 10 years that she had a chance. Do you get what I'm saying? Certain shit that you could say.
She's pretty fucking well behaved the last 10 years.
But this is what I'm saying. Like,
I said 60.
This is the problem. So it's and sometimes I choose to keep quiet because my ignorance may show. So I choose to mix with what I've heard between places. And
Pedro goes on to say, there are people who think of monarchs and colonialism are part of some Disney-like fantasy world, and those who acknowledge the evil of it. If people think colonialism is something Disney and peaches and cream, they're fucking idiots. And I'm not pulling a punch on that. Yes, it's wonderful. Let's go and take people from Africa and go and enslave India and go and enslave the West Indies. It's like, awesome. It's like, no, that's not cool at all. Fucking, I saw Disney and their movie Song of the South. That shit's locked up in Mickey Mouse's vault. We don't talk about that one. Fucking, I love to laugh loud and long and clear. No, that was not it. I love to laugh louder. Zippity doo dah. That was the one. That's some racist shit right there. Wow.
I'd rather not.
Don't talk about it.
Right. Shall we get on with it?
I think we should. Francis on says, trigger moment, Daniel Craig. So true. Word 789 says, can I just say I found your top 10 overrated movies video very controversial. I aim to please. Harry's boy says, wish Will Ferrell and Daniel Craig could make a film together so we could all not watch it. Harry's boy, my guy. Do you know, I've actually figured out that if Daniel Craig was cast in the MCU, that's it.
You said that. You have said it. I
stand by that. I would need someone in our comic book group to go and see it first and let me know if he's in it.
I don't think you trust anyone. I honestly don't believe you.
I'd need it to be you. You're the only one who I trust to actually tell the truth because you know how much he's hurt me.
I don't even know if I can do it justice. But yeah, I would try. And I appreciate the fact that you put that trust in me.
Of course. Big Tom would fucking troll the shit out of me.
So that was your opinion. That's a shit. Anyway, no, on target. Let's go on. Would you like to tell people what the movie Mount Rushmore is all about?
Yes. For those of you tuning in for the first time, it's basically a top 10 movie show between two best friends from school where opinions matter and ours matter more than yours. I'm just kidding, of course. But here's how the show actually works. AJ and I each get assigned a topic. We go our separate ways. We come right back here and record our individual top 10s for you, the film family, the silver screen dudes, the movie Mount Rushmore Nation. This week, AJ will go first, delivering his bottom 3. I will then deliver my bottom 3. AJ will deliver his next 2. I will deliver my next 2. Then we will trade one apiece when we get to our top 5. If at any point while we are rounding off our individual top 10 list, one person has a movie in a high position, the person will say,
punt.
And we will punt and talk about that movie when we get to the higher position. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10s, we will create the Movie Mount Rushmore. These are the 4 quintessential diverse must-see movies. I guess it's movies of the genre, which this week is...
Yeah, get ready for it.
It's a
Top
mouthful.
10 first action movies from an unlikely actor.
Yes.
Fuck me sideways.
Yes.
Can I say...
Very wordy.
Yeah, can I say that this is one that I was a bit hesitant about for the longest while. And I somewhat feel like I can still maintain with it, because I think that it depends what you want to classify as action films. And then there's a part of an action film that really pissed me off. I will get into it a bit further later on.
Lol.
And
also,
yeah.
just sorry, quickly, one other new person has joined. Tucky's here. Hello, Tucky. Thanks for joining us. I'm with Nico on this. I've blocked so many people on Twitter. Good for you, Tucky. Respect. Sorry, AJ. Back to you.
Cool. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a wild one. A couple of films I really wish I had the chance to see, but believe it or not, when AJ was without AJ Vision for a week, wow, wow, are you limited in what you can find on Netflix? Fuck me.
Oh, Netflix sucks.
No.
I
will go
say
as
that.
far as Netflix, Disney, and Amazon. There are a couple of films that were like heavy hitters, and I was like, I need to see that. Not available. Then by the time I found some, it was a bit too late, but it's all good. But there were some real ones that I wanted to see, and it didn't happen. So it's a concise list. I still work with it, but
well, then don't fucking keep me in suspense. Oh wait, but before we do, I'll keep me in suspense for a moment, please, guys. As you may know, the regular film family know this. The podcast, the Pod Squad know this. The people who watch us afterwards, the VOD Squad, the video on demand, the VOD Squad. AJ looks like he's drinking wine, but I know it's not. It's cranberry juice.
No, blackcurrant.
It's your fucking period.
I don't even do cranberry. It's blackcurrant.
Oh, I like cranberry.
Good for you.
Yeah. But is that what, Ribena?
Worse, Winter.
Ugh, mate. Fucking hell. I had a Ribena light today. It's very good. I haven't had a Ribena.
No, I can't do light. I can't do the light. Anyway, we digress. Continue.
Yeah, for those of you who join us regularly, you know what I'm about to say. But hey, by the way, if you are new to the show, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Lovely to have you here. We are available every single Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. UK time. So come and join us and join our weird little cultish film family right here. But if you do like the Silver Screen Dudes and you want to support us with our weekly content, you can. For literally less than the price of your daily coffee, you can head on over to, that's not it. You can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes, and literally for less than the price of your daily Starbucks. And don't tell me you don't drink Starbucks and be a coffee hipster. We all have a Starbucks, or we all have some form of coffee daily, except AJ, who has Red Bull. So in AJ's case, for less than the price of his daily Red Bull, which is actually true, because I know you have the XL, motherfucker. And for everyone else, for less than the price of your daily coffee, you can support us and show some love to the Movie Mount Rushmore. Oh, I've got a fucking buzz and energy tonight. Let's go. Let's go.
But before we do get into this, guys, what does happen in the world of the Movie Mount Rushmore? We, the Silver Screen Dudes, these two dudes, will create the 4 must-see movies of the particular genre. It gets even tougher for you guys, the screeners, because what will happen is we will pass on our Movie Mount Rushmore to good old JT from at Movie Pulse for You. We love movies. He will then post it out. We will retweet it. That means you only get one chance to vote for the opportunity to crown the best of the best of the best. Sir, go.
Fucking poor JT this week got the attack of all attacks. They're like uncalled attack from out of nowhere. Some bumder decided that it would be right to just... Gavin Mann saw this, decided that it would be right to just start... You know the whole school debate, my dad's tougher than yours? Bro, it was that level of fuckery from grown men. Like, I don't mean JT, like, he was on the receiving end of this. Like, he was like, what the fuck do you want me to say to this dumb shit, basically? But someone just basically went off on a rant. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to give them the exposure, but I want to say just how fucking dumb people are. He's probably one of those, yay, the Queen's dead type cunts. But he literally started going like, yeah, you people on... Again, you people.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go again. You people on Letterboxd. Yeah, you're all... Yeah, blah, 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 blah. You shit on us IMDbers. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? It's a poll. Pick a winner. And then
That's weird.
I had to jump in and I went, yeah, I made the poll. If you got a problem with the poll, direct it to me. I'm here. Leave JT alone. He is but our help. He is but our friend. And he helps us promote the poll. And the guy's like, oh, pot calling the kettle black now. You didn't like it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you on about, brother? I just shared that gif of like, you know, when the Friends gif where Joey comes in and hugs Chandler. I'm like, bro, do you need a hug? Like, what the fuck is this?
Like, with our 4 films, could you dispute any of those are overrated? Irrelevant of if you're on Letterboxd, Rotten Tomatoes, or IMDb.
Oh, yes. People were very angry that there were 2 Edgar Wright movies on there.
Then he's an overrated director. What the fuck do you want from us?
It's just my point. Shaun of the Dead.
It's our personal opinion.
Fucking people writing to me going, Shaun of the Dead is the top comedy of the 21st century. I'm like, you are proving my point, brother.
Listen, the fact that we have people around us who go, oh, this is awesome. We endorse in the movie and go, well, this was shit. Or followed by people who go, we saw it and went, yeah, didn't get it. And people are like, this was awesome. This is what we have estimated to be overrated. Don't give a fuck if you're on IMDb, Letterboxd, or Rotten Tomatoes. It's a public view.
Do you know what was mad is that people couldn't differentiate between bad and overrated. Oh, it's a good movie, though. I'm like, I don't say no. I mean, I do say no, but that's another topic.
Yeah.
I was like, The Incredibles was my prime example. It's a good film. I like The Incredibles. Just not to that fucking level where it's been given like title of best Pixar movie. I'm like, slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Yeah.
You were saying, sorry, about JT.
Yeah, so JT will take our poll, retweet, put it out there, we will retweet it, and you will get the chance to crown the best of the best of the best. Sir, with honors, El Capitan, El Numero Uno, and to quote Highlander, in the end, there could be only one. So, last week our topic was, surprise, debate based on
the most overrated movies of the 21st century.
And our contend as well.
Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, Get Out, and Frozen.
So, obviously, because it won, and this was just a very much of a fuck you to everyone who made us put it on a previous poll, I'm going to go with Shaun of the Dead in 4th place.
You'd be correct, 17%. I respect that 17%.
So do I. 001, I hope you're in there. Anyone else? Feel free. You could be 002, 3, 4, and 5. Right. The Edgar Wright hate or love versus Mr. Nope. I mean, it could be Disney, but I feel like some people might appreciate that. Would I be right in saying Baby Driver?
No, sir.
Get Out.
Yeah, 23%.
The way I'm going to see this for Twitter and the fact that most people who vote for this are going to be over 18. Baby Driver's in at number 2.
Correct, 25%.
And Frozen.
35%.
So some people are willing to let it go. There we go. Right.
Then the tech, you people are overrated. I literally can't fucking say you people without thinking of Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder. What do you mean, you people? And then little Al Pacino comes in. What do you mean, you people? Little Chris Tucker wannabe motherfucker.
Right. Okay. So here we go. First action movies from an unlikely hero. This one is very interesting because there's what I'm aware of and then what was out there before me. So I've kind of mixed it based on who these people were and what it meant. And that's how my list was built. So it's going to be a bit like, oh, why is that number 10? It's because essentially in at number 10 is a man who to some people was a comedian, but as long as I've known him, he's an action hero. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for that, in at number 10 is the Christmas movie of all times, Bruce Willis and Die Hard.
All you, brother.
Bro, it's one of those things that I'm aware that he was in Moonlight. I'm aware that he was in comedy along the way. But for me, it's one of those things I couldn't ignore if you're going to look at this because he has gone on to become an action star. He is that guy because of it, you know.
One of the three, I would say.
But this is it. Do you remember when but what I was also pointing out to was, do you remember when we done our top 10 action heroes, one by someone else? I don't know if he's on your list, so I won't mention him. But
Who you mean?
When we done the trifecta of Arnie,
the trifecta lost.
yeah, yeah, didn't they just? But Bruce was the other one, and at first we were like, we shouldn't be able to split this Holy Trinity. Then we're like, well, maybe you can. Now, Die Hard has set the pace for him to be known as an action star, but he didn't hit the beats the way the other two have. You know, I don't even think he made the Rushmore, if I remember right.
Nope, he didn't. Tom Cruise picked him.
So there we are. With that said, Bruce Willis has set himself up. Now he's retired, but he will go down as an action star. That's what people remember him more than Moonlight and all the other comedies that he's done along the way. Certainly, but it needed to be acknowledged. And so that's here I am.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to add anything more to Die Hard, which has been spoken about so many times.
Yes, and it's a lot of these films will be very, it's there. If you don't know, it's the heist of the Nakatomi Plaza, and the unlikely cop who's just there to party with his wife has to save the day.
And an awesome fucking Christmas movie.
And if you don't believe me, boom, Christmas tree. Sorry. There we go.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that for the pod squad was a picture of Bruce Willis with his gun standing next to a Christmas tree.
'Tis real. 'Tis but a scratch.
Right. In at number 9. Again, it's one of those guys that I recognize more as a hero, but I didn't even recognize him when he was doing a comedy show as Beetlejuice. I am talking about good old Michael Keaton as Batman.
It's funny you say that. That's also my number 9.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, it's one of those things I recognize him as Batman. Now, if you want to know the story of Batman, I think it's been told a million times in a million different ways, but this is
not the pearls. Not the pearls.
Not the pearls, exactly, not the pearls. But it's the story of young orphan Bruce Wayne who lost his parents and goes out and becomes vengeance. And on this is his first meeting with the Joker in film world, anyway. Well, not exactly, because Adam West done it. But no, before this, Michael Keaton was known as a comedian to many, and they were quite
Mr.
shocked.
Fucking Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice.
Mr. Mom, yeah.
Beetlejuice is the one Beetlejuice for sure. I swear Mr. Mom came out before this.
Came after, but it's one of those weird things that as much as he became an action star and he went dark with Tim Burton in this, didn't really fuck with that world too much after Batman Returns. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those that he got respect.
Enter DCEU. Oh wait, Ezra Miller.
And Chapek, like he fucked that shit up as well, man. Like he not
Chapek. Chapek's over at Disney.
Yeah,
Zaslav.
Zaslav. He was like, yeah, Batgirl. Don't think so.
We
won't see what's going to happen there. I was intrigued. I wanted to see what it was. I didn't expect the world, but I wanted to see what they had. I'll be honest.
I fucking called it, didn't I? I said the axe of Zaslav is going to fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom, is it falling? Oh, shit. And it's going to keep falling, brother. There's a little part of me that thinks he wanted to drop that shit on Black Adam. Because did you see the new trailer? It looks so shit.
I do believe you are a bit. I think some people. I don't think people are mega pumped. I don't know anyone who's mega pumped. Fucking hell,
it looks fucking awful.
I haven't even looked. I'm just
the new trailer. I've seen people hyped about it. To be fair, and they're like, "Oh, the new trailer's really sold me." I'm like, "It's the same trailer, bro." I'm still going into this movie going, "I don't know what it's about." He takes on the Justice Society of America. He's a bad guy. Sort of. We're seeing it from his perspective. He kills. He's angry because someone killed his son. Okay. Oh, but Sadak's in it. How do you know? He's a bad guy because he's got skulls on his back, and that's why we know he's bad. It's like, oh God, fuck me. It's. Do you know what it is? It's generically awesome. That's what Black Adam's going to be. It's going to be the biggest pile of generic.
It's going to be just there, but I have to give him all the credit in the world. Dwayne, put some of that hype into your WrestleMania match, bro. I have not seen one man pump one movie for so long. So, like, he is juiced. Like, you know, like Mojo was like, we don't get hype, we stay hyped. That is The Rock promoting Black Adam at all costs. So much so that when that fake tweet came out about him saying, like, RIP to the Queen,
yeah,
actually, like, people believed it because
I was like, Dwayne? Easy.
Yeah, if you haven't, guys, just put it out. The Rock tribute to the Queen Twitter. Like, there's a fake post out there that makes you believe
it fucking
deep.
got me, you know.
It led people to believe it because the guy is chronically like Black Adam for the win. But yeah, we divert.
Cool. The villain from Superman and Shazam. Are either of them in your movie? No.
Well, people are praying for at least one.
We all want to see Cavill, but you'll be lucky if you get Shazam in a post credit. The villain is going to be Sadak, and how do we know he's bad? Because he's got scars on his back. It's so shit. I'm sorry. Each trailer that comes out makes me want to see it less and less. I'm sorry. That's not Black Adam's fault. That's not The Rock's fault. Whoever the marketing team is in charge of promoting this trailer should be fucking taken out to pasture and fired.
But it's also been the longest drag. Like, if you think waiting for the Flash has taken forever, Black Adam has taken forever.
2014.
There was only one film that could come out now that make me go, wow, I thought I was waiting for Black Adam. And that is Channing Tatum as Gambit. That is the only
real talk.
That is the only thing that can make me go, shit. Okay, maybe Black Adam. I haven't been waiting too long for it. Like, that is the only thing that had all this hype around it. Didn't happen. I honestly didn't think Black Adam.
I'm so glad that didn't happen. I'm not gonna lie.
I was interested to see what he could do.
No, I was like, that's my favorite X-Men. I'm like, it's been dragged through the mud once. Please not twice. I don't need to see Magic Mike doing Gambit. Pass.
Like twerking with cards. Anyway, we won't get into it.
Mon cher with a really bad Cajun accent. I don't trust Channing Tatum, Tates to do a fucking Cajun accent. You know, it's like no.
Fair enough. Right. Okay. This guy has. Do you know what? Now that we were talking Black Adam, let's just lead into it, and then I'll get into the guy because I was talking about The Rock. So it just seems like that was my number 8. Yeah, Nicholas. Yeah, Cage.
Nick Cage wasn't in that. Wasn't Nick Cage wasn't an action
star.
A
bit of a corner in there for us.
Bit of a corner there. Nick Cage wasn't an action star before this. Miss Moneypenny. Yeah. Nick Cage was not an action star before this. Not long before this, he wasn't Cage. He was Nicholas Coppola.
There you go. And it's he was leaving Arizona and stuff like that, like leaving Las Vegas, and finding Arizona. Like, he was doing deep films. It was stuff that people were like, okay, this guy can deliver. As you said, he was part of the Coppola family. People embraced it. And then it was like, he's going to do an action film. And I always remember The Rock as, it's one of those films of not escaping Alcatraz, but entering Alcatraz based on these mad villains. And I always remember thinking, what the madness that came out of this film. And the pairing with him and Sean Connery was absolutely golden. So, yeah, good old Nick Cage had to make the list. But
I still maintain, I'll say one thing, though. There's one thing I'll say about Nick Cage and The Rock. He wasn't really doing action. He was playing a scientist. He was kind of a nerd.
This is the thing. He had moments, and there was a lot of actors that I thought of, and I was like, they were in the action film, but it wasn't their action film. So I had to omit them. But it's this film set pace for people to be like, we can put him in action films. And it's for that I kept it in there.
All right, just before we flip it over to me, let's just see what a few people have to say. Francis Lond likes your Bruce Willis choice. I'm with Nakatomi. Pedro Sancto says, what do you think about Sigourney Weaver in Aliens? The sequel. Interesting case since she was reprising a role, though this time in a new genre. I hadn't thought of it that way, but I'll listen to that argument all day long. Alien is not an action film. Aliens is. But the point to argue that if I were to argue, I would hone in on the word unlikely. Because we've already seen her with like whipping ass. I mean, not whipping ass, but we've already seen her going up against an alien in the first movie. Chances are she's going to go up against an alien in the second movie.
Well, yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's yes, the genre changed, but the stretch of her character didn't. I mean, she became more informed and sure of herself. Sure, there's a character arc there, don't get me wrong. But she was still very much the mama figure in this movie.
We'll come back to it.
Oh, will we? Okay, yeah. Very good. Sorry, AJ.
It's all good. I was listening to the argument.
Harry's boy says, great shout on Keaton. Was a lot of criticism at his casting, but he was perfect. So here's a tale as old as time. Every time someone is cast in an iconic role, there's criticism. I will draw you to the new one. Twilight boy. That's died, hasn't it? That fucking died.
I wonder if he was going to make your list, actually.
No. Twilight boy doesn't make the list. I love the fact that I can now say that tongue in cheek. I was right. I was the only one on the comic group. Everyone was like, what, the sparkly vampire dude? Watch. I was right. And I don't get right often, but I'm going to take it. I was right. Twilight boy. Gone. Remember when fucking Hugh Jackman was cast as Wolverine? The fucking Australian 6'2" stage dancer. Now we have people who are actually fucking Wolverine size being cast as potentially cast as him, and the crowd's like, he's too short. It's like,
he's not Jackman. But he's
my how the things have changed. Remember when fucking Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker? 'Tis a tale as old as time. Fans moaning online, not shutting their mouth, waiting to find out. Will the
Daniel
role be
Craig
good? Shut the fuck up.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. But
People just need to shut up and remember, aside from the Daniels of the world, actors usually know what the fuck they're doing, and a point of acting.
You don't want to do that.
Wills.
Hmm?
Daniels and Wills.
You want to put Daniels in a category of actors who don't know what they're doing. You don't.
Daniel Craig, Daniel Radcliffe, Daniel Kaluuya. I can keep going.
Best actor of all time?
Double barrel, my friend.
No, that's his surname, not his first name.
Shut up.
That's what I'm saying. Just don't do it. I'm going to your back. That's all I'm saying.
I appreciate you. Most Daniels.
Right, there we are.
But yeah, aside from most Daniels and the odd Will, actors usually, as part of their job, get into a role. It's kind of what they do. So, my favorite one is when people say, he doesn't look right. It's like, have you heard of prosthetics?
Colin Farrell
was the Penguin. Have you heard of special effects and motion capture? Andy Serkis doesn't look like Gollum. I love this fucking debate with film fans online. Say, he doesn't look right. He's not. He's too short. He's too tall. He's an actor, motherfucker. Has he been in good movies before? Will he probably deliver again? Or she deliver again? Yes. I love it. But Pedro Sanchez says, and this is fair, I'm one of those few that dislike Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
Here's a question, Pedro, and it's just out of interest. Was Keaton the first Batman you saw? I'm not necessarily counting Adam West, but I'd like to see what Batman films you saw first, just to see how it tempered your judgment. Because I believe
Batman, Kevin Conroy. Come at me.
That's not a bad shout, actually. But I mean, as much as Bale isn't my ideal go-to Batman, I understand the impact he's made. And seeing that and then going back to Keaton, I can understand why it wouldn't work.
Oh yes, if you go Bale to Keaton, and that's also another further argument into the debate of who is better, Bale or Keaton. It's not a debate. Bale, 100% Bale. You would lean Keaton, wouldn't you? Between the two,
I'd have to really. I mean, it's it's one of the ways of the era that you have and the way the world has adapted and the style that you take what Nolan done. Batman lives in our world. You take what I just mentioned his name a minute. Burton done. It's of a different world. It's very the architecture shows it's not of our world. So it's set in a different unit. It is a different universe for all intents and purposes. And I think if you've done them year to year, it's an interesting portrayal. I still that voice change thing is something that I find very disturbing. I don't know. I'd have to really sit back and assess it a lot deeper than I do. We all know where I stand, and it's on the unpopular island of Val Kilmer. So I choose to shut up. It is what it is.
You'll never hear hate from me on Val Kilmer. I just don't think you should be putting that movie as your fucking Batman movie. To me, that's like next level madness.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Dan the text says, I still don't like Twilight Boy. You're just being a cute contrarian, aren't you?
I mean, listen, I get it. You heard me. I appreciate the film. I had the appreciation for the film. I didn't rave to it the same way you did. It is what it is.
I rated it exactly the same as you.
Fair enough. This is true.
Were we to rate it, I know exactly where that film stands. I just came out and I said, I love the way it was directed. I hated the Selena Kyle storyline. If you had dropped it, that movie's a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
You could knock 30 solid minutes off that film if you dropped the Selena Kyle character.
Weird.
She doesn't affect the movie. And I loved, oh yeah, I loved her when she was on screen. Now let's not get shit twisted. On screen, I missed her when she was off screen. And I'm not being misogynistic here. I mean, legitimately, she was awesome.
Yeah.
She didn't serve the story.
I agree.
Did not serve the story. He was fucking brilliant, though, Pattinson. I won't hear otherwise. He was brilliant.
I have a beef. He was a good Batman. He was a terrible Bruce Wayne. I can't say. You can't sway me from that. I honestly feel you need a duality in Bruce Wayne, even though he's in the early stages of grievance. It was
year one, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. If we are going to play that game now, I believe the way Christian Bale dealt with it was a lot better for the early stages of Bruce Wayne than what I've got from Robert.
Yeah, but that wasn't going into comic book lore or anything. That was its own beast. Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway,
my number 10, George Clooney, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Nice shout.
Yeah, yes. Had to have a bit of George in there. Said every woman ever.
I get you. You know my beef with this film is it's the weird duality of how to embrace this film that I'm like, I don't hate it weirdly enough. I just find it very fucking odd.
And that's kind of why I fucking love it. You know I love me a weird movie. Right?
Yeah.
A movie that can surprise you. How often do I say, just surprise me? It was my beef with wrestling for the longest time. Just please surprise me again, right? Movies that surprise you are always a good thing. Movies that make you think they're one thing and then they're like, holy fucking shit, what is this? Right? To quote McMahon, that's some good shit right there. This went from being a kind of low budget B movie, gangster movie into a vampire movie. And the thing I love is that the thing that catalyzed this change was a table dance from Selma Hayek. It's like that was the light switch. Okay, yeah, I love everything about this. The foot fetish was the light. The Selma Hayek toe sucking was what made this a vampire movie.
The sun went down as the toe went in the mouth.
Fucking A, man. But Clooney's always been cool and suave. So the reason it's my 10 is because, yes, he wasn't known for doing action before this. I always thought he had that gear in him. He's good looking. He's got the physique. He's got the charisma. He could easily be a bad guy that you love to love or love to hate, which is exactly what he was here. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about From Dusk Till Dawn ad nauseum. Like for me, it's one of Tarantino's unsung great. Huh?
You explained it quite well. It goes from B movie to vampire movie with a toe sucking in between. Like, I mean, if you've not seen it, that's all you need to know. Like, you don't want to.
We got chicken pussy, cow pussy, hairy pussy, smelly pussy. It's like, okay, lovely. I do love that film. It's so fucking good. Harry's boy agrees. From Dusk Till Dawn was incredible. Best watched as a double with Desperado. That's an interesting take. I like that. In at number 9 for me, my number 9 was Batman, same as you. In at number 8, Adrian Brody in the second best Predators movie, Predators. So good. You still haven't seen it.
The CG version of a poster you got there.
Check this out. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really cool.
So,
you still haven't seen it, have you?
No, for my sins. I must admit, it's downloaded on Disney Plus. I was going to do a cheeky one on the way to work, but I just didn't get a chance to. So, yeah, I forgot my charger at work and didn't have enough battery to watch it. So that was the key reason I haven't seen it. But
Mixed Memorabilia agrees with me on this, and they're not there to hear tonight. But, bro, this was such a fucking pleasant surprise, this film. You know, the fact that we had Predator 1, which we all love. Predator 2, yeah. Then we had some Alien versus Predator movies. I'll maintain the first one is a fun, guilty pleasure of mine, just because the idea of, look, I know it's poorly written, but you're putting a xenomorph against a Predator. What do you want me to do except nerd out? Then the second one took the piss with it, and I was like, no, this is shit. It's not a guilty pleasure. Then this comes along, and I was like, ugh, fine, I'll see it because I'm a fucking geek and I like seeing the Predator do Predator stuff. It's a war.
Do you know the funny thing? Even if you take away Alien versus Predator 1 and 2, yeah, the gap between Predator 2 and Predators is enough to scare the shit out of you.
You get me?
Do you know what I mean? It's not often that you could continue a saga with that kind of a gap.
Much so to prove your point that the fucking guy who wrote the first one, Shane Black, who has written very good movies such as Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys and Predator, came back to direct The Predator. And there's your favorite word, AJ. The Predator, which was 7 or 8 years after Predators. Oh my God, the pile of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your point is absolutely valid. When you wait that long, it
can be very scary.
Could be very scary for Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
And Avatar people love to hate on it.
Yeah.
But
Predators was... to be honest, even today, I know you've explained it before, and I'll allow you to explain for those who are new to the show and what it's about. But even reading this synopsis, I really do need to check this out. It sounds awesome.
Bro, it was such a fucking breath of fresh air. And it was like, okay, we've seen the Predator in the jungle before, and it was great. We've seen the Predator in the concrete jungle before against Danny Glover. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right. Too old for this shit. But it was, then we saw the xenomorphs and it was okay, yeah, it's not hitting those Arnie levels. Now this one doesn't, but it's not far. Fuck me. You know when you go into a movie and it is just such a surprise. Again, here we go. It was such a pleasant surprise because it's like one of those when your expectations are so low, you're resigned to seeing Alien versus Predator 3 at this point. It's like, oh, go on. Hurt my childhood more. I'm a glutton for pain, apparently. Oh, no. This is some good shit. So the story is assassins from all over the world with people like Adrian Brody, with people like Machete, Danny Trejo, with people like... why am I blanking on so many people's names? Who was the motherfucker from Ant-Man 2 and the motherfucker from The Hateful Eight? Goggins. Is it Bill? Steve Goggins? I think that's his name. He was in this too. There's like this weird ensemble of, I'm pretty sure Jordana Brewster's in this, and if it's not, it's her doppelganger. But yeah, this weird fucking ensemble of actors. Adrian Brody, who is literally one of Wes Anderson's muses. Like, this guy is not a fucking action star by any stretch of the imagination. I know someone just now said that he was in King Kong. King Kong is not an action movie. Don't even play it like that.
Do you know the funny thing? Kong held me back because if you... Oh, no, that's...
No, Tucky says it wasn't Adrian Brody in King Kong. Not an action movie. It's a fucking monster movie.
Yeah...
It has action scenes in it, sure, where they're running away from dinosaurs and stuff. If King Kong is an action movie, Jurassic Park is an action movie, and I'll fight the good fight and say that is not an action movie.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a film I haven't finished, but it does come out as adventure/fantasy.
Yeah, this it's not an action movie. I think I saw this a lot on Twitter over the course of the last few days. People pulled for Matt Damon, who I'm sure we're both going to speak about at some point. Like, you can't put that movie in because he was in Saving Private Ryan. I'm like, let's make a very fucking clear distinction between war and action. There are some action things that happen in a war movie, but it is not an action movie. You think action, you think John Wick, you think Predator, you think True Lies, right? Yeah. I'm talking about the classical sense of the word action, and Predators fits that bill oh so beautifully. Oh, so beautifully. Assassins get sent to the planet where the predators are from and hunt. And it's not just one. There's like 5. It's like, yeah, fucking hey, give me a bit of that. Fucking hey, now that.
I really do want to see that film. I really do.
Thank you, Word789. Walton Goggins. Thank you. Gavin Mann says, Tangent. Had a strange thought about Pulp Fiction the other day. What if Willis swapped roles with Travolta and Raimi swapped with Samuel L. Jackson? Different film, but would still be good in my
I love that thought.
So who takes Raimi as well? Samuel L. Jackson saying, fuck pride. It would be delivered differently, wouldn't it? Ving Rhames goes really like bass deep. Fuck pride. On the night of the fight, you might feel that little sting. He goes big tone levels of about fuck pride.
You could imagine Samuel L. Jackson saying, "I'm gonna go medieval on his ass."
You definitely could. But I could also see Samuel L. Jackson delivering the fuck pride monologue much, much calmer than Ving does. On the night of the fight, you might feel a little sting. It's pride fucking with you, boy. Fuck pride. You know, he'd be more.
It would be it would be interesting.
Fuck pride.
It would be. Do you know what? It's one of those in an alternate world that probably is happening somewhere. But yeah.
Oh God. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man. Jesus.
It's an interesting take there,
I like it.
Yeah. It's got me thinking.
I would pay to hear Ving Rhames recite Ezekiel 25:17 all day long.
Bruce Willis and Uma Thurman.
No, horrible. Can you see Bruce Willis doing the Jackrabbit Slims? Fuck no. Can you see Bruce Willis giving it a bit of that, brother? Like,
I know it wouldn't have been as iconic. But then again, that part where he accidentally shoots the kid in the face, he would deliver that.
No, but see, that would work. That would work brilliantly.
Yeah.
But equally, the part where they're cleaning up the brains, I don't think he'd do as well as Travolta. You know, where's that? I'm just saying, it's dangerous to keep a race car in the red. Are you a race car in the red?
He could do it.
Different.
But could you imagine? Here's another bit that makes it work. Tangent. Thank you for this, Gavin. Ving Rhames saying to
drop the ball with the dancing.
Joe
Pesci is the wolf, says Francis. Fuck yeah.
Fuck,
now that's some casting.
But could you imagine Ving Rhames saying, "My wallet's the one that says bad motherfucker," like that?
Of course, with that voice of his, absolutely.
Set phase.
I like it. The dancing kills it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my number 8, bro. And I cannot recommend you see this film enough. It's gonna be like, I'm not gonna say the film actually because it's coming up later on my list. It's gonna be like Dread. There you go. It's gonna be like the first time you see Dread. You're gonna be like, this is some good shit.
Cool.
All right, you're number 6. 7, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, he's from West Philadelphia, born and
raised,
and he's the bad boy. We're talking Will Smith in the Bad Boys.
It's funny you say that. It's also my number 7.
It's weird, isn't it? Like in an ideal world, you'd love to pull for Independence Day, but this came up first. But it was a shocker. It was one of those where you're like, whoa. The Fresh Prince is like, whoa, what's he doing? It's a lot. Oh my God, Will Smith is swearing. Like there were so many different parts. I was like, this isn't real.
Will Smith swearing in the opening still to this day makes me go, Eminem. Eminem.
Yeah. It just doesn't. It's weird. He's Mr. Nice. Well, was Mr. Nice Guy up until earlier this year. Like it was just weird. It was weird. Like he was, but he pulled it off, and this set the pace that summer action blockbusters with Will Smith.
Equally, I never thought I'd see Martin Lawrence doing action.
I was actually going to draw for this as well. You know, I was good. I thought of it as well. I was like, yes, we could say Will Smith, but Martin Lawrence actually. Don't underestimate that. Martin Lawrence actually delivered in this.
Yeah,
he delivered. Yes, he's the side character. Excuse me, but he does his shit. There's a point where he has to be Mike Lowry, and that whole tuning and trying to get into that zone. Like Martin deserves his props, man. He does, but Will was the one who they called back to do more action films where Martin didn't. Just Bad Boys 2 and 3. Sadly, 3. Was
and a stand-up comedy that people take the piss out of called Run Tell Dat. Not so good.
Well, he's done Blue Streak in between. Leave him alone.
Blue Streak was good.
Exactly.
There's a famous line he used to say that he drops at one point in Run Tell Dat, and I always wanted to say, I wish you'd said that to my face, because he's like, yeah, you ain't laughing. Just remember who the original host of Def Comedy Jam was, and I always wanted to say original, as in not anymore.
Give him props, man. Everything moves on. But yeah.
Nah, sorry. His stand-up comedy was one note for me.
Do you know what? He had Martin, which was like a huge comedy show. I've never watched it, so I can't like this or promote, but it didn't ever appeal to me. Put it that way. I know Martin was big, but it didn't really do anything for me. That's just where I'll leave that.
Speaking of the Fresh Prince, did you get around to watching Bel-Air?
No.
Gosh, really good.
Not in a bad way. I just haven't had the time. No, like I want to. To be fair, it's one of those that I've kind of I forgot about it, and every now and again, when it gets brought back up, I'm like, shit, I really should watch it.
You really should. It's millennial as fuck. Like it's proper 2022. Like Carl's got a fucking coke addiction, and what's the sister called?
Hillary.
Yeah, she's an influencer. She's an influencer. It's like, okay, we've literally set this in the modern age. And
but it needed to be.
It's very cool. For me, it worked. I don't know a lot of people who really openly said to me they dislike it. The people I've spoken to are like, it's 2022 as F, but it works.
Cool. No, I do want to say, have they renewed it, or was it just like the one season?
I think it was a one and done thing, man. I mean, the story's there to make another one, but I don't. They should. I liked it.
I'm now intrigued. Is there going to be a Bel-Air season 2? Sorry.
Let us look. Bel-Air season 2 as a season 2 over the second season of the Fresh Prince. Striptease for 2.
Has Bel-Air been released?
Bel-Air season 2 potential release date, cast, plot, trailer, and everything you need to know.
Has Bel-Air been renewed? With Bel-Air confirmed for a second season on Peacock? Yeah, that's all we need to know.
Very good.
Good.
The question is when. Speaking of when the fuck is fucking What We Do in the Shadows season 4 airing here in the UK? It annoys me that they get it so far ahead of us in the States.
So this is the story going back, not all about how, but this is the story, just bringing it back to Bad Boys, of two cops working together. Will Smith's character, Mike Lowry's very close friend, potential partner, gets killed, and her roommate is told that if anything ever happens to me, contact Mike. And it's just hunting down the bad boys, the bad guys. Essentially, that's it. Comedy action. And it's what set Will Smith into the world of action movies.
And we're very thankful for it.
Indeed.
Then the text says they got 3 seasons of Bel-Air. I'm in for all 3.
Wow. Okay.
I'm happy. Dude, season 1 was good.
That's good. Why not?
You're number 6.
Okay, in at number 6. Owen Wilson, Behind Enemy Lines.
Nice shout. Behind Enemy Lines. Good shout, mate.
I always remember.
A Wes Anderson muse.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I remember seeing him in Grand Budapest. I don't know how deep how far back they go, but yeah, I always like Owen Wilson is comedy, even when it Marley and Me. Which, bro, as a dog man, please watch this film. You know that film hit me harder than I thought it would, man. I was like, wow, the relationship between man and dog. But one thing I would have never ever estimated him to do was an action film. And this film really had me going, shit me. And I think it was also in my slow-mo moments as well. Because that moment where he is walking and that trip, my days. This film had really got me. So it's the story of a air fighter who gets blown, whose plane gets shot down behind enemy lines, and he has to make it to safety. Gene Hackman's also in it. But yeah, Owen Wilson really... What's up, bro? You have this look that has...
No, because you're talking to me about Owen Wilson's other films, and there's this really kind of like... Excuse me. Frog in the throat. There's this really weird... Nobody talks about it, but it's really good. Morgan Freeman's in it. Owen Wilson's in it. Charlie Sheen is in it. Vinnie Jones is in it. It's this weird cast. It's Elmore Leonard, who wrote Jackie Brown and who wrote Get Shorty and who wrote Out of Sight. You know, really, really good writer. And Elmore Leonard wrote the script for this film, and it's killing me that I can't remember. If anyone knows,
Owen Wilson and Danny Glover, did you say?
Morgan Freeman, Charlie Sheen, and Vinnie Jones.
Owen Wilson, Morgan Freeman. Let's just do that.
Yeah, that'll narrow it down.
Huh? Big Bang. The big bounce.
That's it. Really?
Interestingly enough, and I'm not saying you're wrong, this film has 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't give a fuck. I had a blast with it. Maybe I was stoned.
Maybe you get these really shit ratings, but you could have a great time with the film.
I had a blast with it.
I don't even think Behind Enemy Lines has the world's greatest reviews. However,
let's check.
I
imagine it's probably a 6.5, knowing the world.
I remember looking at this film and thinking, "Fuck me, he surprised me." I did not know he had this potential.
6.4.
Not far. That's above average. But yeah, it was a delivery I did not expect. It was a delivery I did not expect from him. Not even seen it again after, if I'm honest, because he's gone back to the world of comedy. And yeah, he's a Wes Anderson, and he always seems to pop up in these other. Is it Ben Stiller movies he always tends to end up in? Yeah, like that. That's the world.
Like Meet the Parents and shit like that.
Yeah. Zoolander, all of that.
Francis, is the echo gone? Let me know, please.
Oh, apology. Who was it? You that was echoing me?
Yeah, me. Francis told me. I could hear it on my end. I'm just wondering, but it seems to be gone now. I'm just wondering if it's still there. Mixed Memorabilia joined us. Hello, Mixed Memorabilia. Hello, guys, and all the film familia late to the show, and we'll be dipping in and out today. Well, dip in as often as you can.
We appreciate the checking in. So thank you very much, Mixed Memorabilia.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that was.
Ducky says the cover I've just seen for the big bounces and filling me with confidence. Listen.
I must admit, it didn't set pace for what I was expecting.
Listen,
but it could be
it might have been a movie I saw in Thailand while I was smoking Thai stick. I do not remember, which probably says a lot.
Sorry. Huh? I said, is that what they call it now? Thai stick, yeah?
That's what they call it, yeah, Thai stick. The strain of weed that they grow in Thailand is called Thai stick.
Okay. I was going for something else. I was just being offensive.
Are you trying to go Thai dick, yeah? South Park did it first.
Oh, there we go. Fair enough. Not seen that episode. Only seen one.
Do you like fish sticks?
But yeah, Behind Enemy Lines. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, years ago, bro. But I remember having a blast with that.
Yeah, it's something I thought, Owen, maybe I would appreciate you more if you'd done a few more of these. But yeah, that was my number 6.
Okay, I like these choices, AJ. I like them a lot. My number 7 was Bad Boys. Not my number 6. My guy Jim from The Office. Let's bring in John Krasinski. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. A movie that you and me desperately wanted to see in the cinema after our 4 movies in one day trial-a-thon. We were planning on going to see, I think it was the Chilean Miners movie with Banderas, whatever it was called. 33 Hours, and we wanted to see this. They were both out at a similar sort of time. They were both out that weekend where we'd seen our 4 movies in one day, and then we were like, let's go back next weekend and see these 2. Gone.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay. The fucking world didn't like those, did they? And then you've got, this is what makes me laugh. You've got cinema chains holding Netflix ransom for having a minimum of something like 35, or sorry, is it 5-week runtime for that Knives Out sequel? Because Netflix want to submit it for Oscar consideration, apparently. But it needs to run 5 weeks in the cinema, according to cinemas. Is okay. And 13 Hours got 1 week. Fuck you.
Sad times.
Now, listen, I've never made a mistake, a secret on here of my utter disdain for the human scumfuck that is Michael Bay. But he gets it right sometimes. It's the second time.
I mean, listen, you just said Bad Boys. Now you're bringing this in. So
Bad Boys. You mentioned The Rock.
Indeed.
You got a bit of a Michael Bay heavy show this week. Carson Peterson, my little troll on YouTube. Aren't you happy? This motherfucker comes and fucking messages me repeatedly every single week going, do you like Michael Bay yet? Do you like Michael Bay yet? I'm like, bro, let it go. He's actually, this is quite tragic. He created, sometimes when like you're texting someone, their tone comes across in a text. So when that person's texting, you're like, I know it's Nico texting, or I know that's an AJ, right? So if you were pretending to be someone else, you'd be like, fuck off. I know that tone. I know those mannerisms. I know that dialect. Equally, I know those spelling mistakes. I know those abbreviations. I know you, motherfucker. This dude Carson has been messaging me and trolling me so much on YouTube, and I think I said something. I know I said something very offensive to him. He wouldn't let it go, and I did the pain and gain shit on him. I'm like, does your mother know that you approve of liking people who laugh at others' deaths? He was like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, he made a movie called Pain and Gain, and Carson was like, it's a great fucking movie. I'm like, cool. Did you know that the people in it were real? It was actually people who died. He was like, well, there are many films which depict death. I'm like, yeah, there are no films which so obviously stick up two proverbial middle fingers to the victims of the families and say, I don't care. I'm making a comedy about your fucking relative's death. He's like, that doesn't matter. I'm like, cool. Hypothetically, if your mother died and someone made a comedy about it, how would you feel? No answer.
I was going to say, still waiting on a reply, right?
No answer for a few days, but then mysteriously, this second person chimes in with exactly the same spelling mistakes, with exactly the same weird OCD tone of, do you like Michael Bay? Do you like Michael Bay? But with a completely different name. And I just went, hi, Carson. Anyway, I don't know who Carson is. I'm like, sure you don't know who Carson is, brother. So if you're watching now, hey, fuck you. By the way, how's your mama doing? I hope she's alive, and I mean that sincerely. I genuinely mean that sincerely. And if she's in ill health, I hope she gets well, because I wouldn't want anyone to die, and I certainly wouldn't want to laugh at anyone dying. Carson. This is why Michael Bay is a cunt. No one can come back to me on that. The moment you make it personal for someone, it gets real. It's so easy to take a backseat and be like, oh, yeah, it's just a comedy. Imagine it. You did it with me. Like, we were, I actually quite like Pain and Gain. I'm like, cool. Imagine it was me that died. That shut you the fuck up.
No. I respect that. And it's funny because it's a film that I really appreciated, and I've never been able to go back to it.
It's grim, isn't it? The moment you actually realize, hang on, someone lost their life and we're laughing at it. This is fucked up.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
It's really fucked up. But look, 13 Hours has all of the things I hate in Michael Bay movies. Unnecessary use of slow-mo, fucking machismo exposition of males fist bumping and explaining why we are macho man. I'll take that knife and shove it up your ass because I'm macho man. You know, he loves to fucking dick up men. Not put his dick up, man. He likes to make men.
He does. We don't know, but yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Respect him if he does. I've got no beef with that. But you know what I mean by like macho man. I'm a show what a man I am to the world.
It's that Predator Carl and Arnie with it.
Yeah. Yeah. The fucking the arm wrestle handshake. You know what I mean? It's like it's that shit peppered throughout all of his movies. Even in The Rock. Your best. Losers talk about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. It's a great line, but it's like, oh my God, the testosterone. Anya, come to the room, please. I need some estrogen around me. Jesus Christ. We go home and fuck the prom queen. Bear. I have a cock. I like to fuck women. It's like, Jesus, Michael, I get it. Enough already. He loves the machismo up his movies. I mean, you can smell the testicle sweat coming off a Michael Bay film. You really can. It's all vinegary and shit. There's a visual image for you. Sorry, I told you I was on form tonight. Leia hasn't slept well for the last few nights, so I'm a little bit fucking wired. But yes. Testicle sweat smell. That's okay. I'm sorry. I may live to regret that one. The testicles got me.
We didn't need.
Oh Jesus! The testicles and the penis got me. The smell got me. It's like Eddie Murphy in that old Delirious when they're doing the. You can smell it. Yeah, for all of the shit stuff that you will stuff. There's an eloquent word. For all of the Michael Bayisms that permeate all of his movies. 13 Hours is no different, but Jesus fucking Christ. Jim from The Office? Yo, first off, you got big.
I was gonna say
real big. Jim got jacked, yo. Secondly, Jim looked dangerous. Like, I didn't want to go for a drink after work with this guy. I want Jim back. I was like, oh, for that reason alone, you've convinced me that John Krasinski can do acting. I was like, fucking fair play, my bro. Fair play all around. Testy sweat in the sacks. Yeah, literally. Literally, this is it. That's what Michael Bay is like. Oh, yeah, look at my huge package. That's fucking Michael Bay in a nutshell. Yes.
There we go. Cool. That was your
testicle sweat. Move on. Specifically, testicle sweat smell.
Would
vinegar.
you like to give a small brief on what 13 Hours is about? Just because it's a film, and it's not about testicle.
Oh yes, it's actually all true. So it's the soldiers that were sent into to Benghazi as it was being overthrown, and it's the 13 hours they spent literally fighting for their lives. It's very good.
Cool.
Mostly very good.
Right.
If you can get past the testicle smell.
Right.
It's proper wafty, bro, in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's like it's an everlasting. You know, Willy Wonka made the everlasting gobstopper. You get me? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I can.
Mm-hmm.
The everlasting cock stuff. Anyway, we won't get it.
Hey, actually, I wasn't going there, but I like that more. Let's go with that.
Right. Okay.
Fucking hell, I'm embracing minus Seth Rollins tonight.
Right, in at number 5. It's the one that most people were probably expecting from this list. The drama actor who became the action star. He does comedy really well as well, by the way, because when Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. We're talking Matt Damon. I've got the trilogy out there because, yes, we're talking Jason Bourne, kicking off with The Bourne Identity.
Small punt.
Okay, cool. Over to you, sir.
My number 5. Woohoo! The Bride, Kill Bill, Tarantino's fourth movie.
I have a problem with that, and I can't get into it yet, but I have a problem with it.
Excuse me, what? You have a problem with that?
I will get into it later. Go on, just go on.
Is it a punt or what's the problem?
Well, it can't be a punt, but it's a dismissal.
Bring on the dismissal. I'm not going to spend time if you've got a valid dismissal. Tell me.
There we go.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. For Pod Squad, you will hear it later on. You will hear it later on in my worst. And that is why it's my worst. Because I
see it, but I also don't. Nah.
You can't. Because if you've got number 9, your number 9 validates it. Validates why.
How so?
Because it's the same fucking movie. It's the same franchise. It's Batman. The Batman franchise.
Nah, sorry. Action movies from an unlikely
actor. Okay, but here we go. Had she been a supporting cast in it, by all means, I would have dismissed it. No, she was one of the 4 leads in it. She was one of the main villains in it. In fact,
some would say 5 leads, but
yeah. Well, yeah.
You see what I mean?
It's one of the leads, though. It's one of the leads in the film. That was my exact problem with it. I'm like, I can't dismiss it because your statement itself.
Did she do? Okay, let me frame this then. Was any action on her part actually done in that movie that would ever make you think, yeah, you've got action in your blood?
But is it her first action movie? By your admission, I even saw the tweet come out. You highlighted the word first. She is one of the leads. She's not just patient in hospital.
This is very annoying.
It killed me. Like, I was like, ooh. And then I was like, fuck. She's also in my worst.
That word first is fucking with me. You do have a point here.
It's not what I want to do, but it is what it is. Trust me, out of all people, you know that would have made my list, bro.
Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't a punt. I got some backups.
By all means.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Last of the Mohicans. Too much of a reach? Not action enough? Too much of a period piece?
This is the problem for me. I kind of was like, is it action enough? But I get it.
I got one. Here's one. Christian Bale, Reign of Fire.
There we are.
That shit was out before Batman.
I have no beef with it.
I like that movie. Would it be my 5? No. No.
Reshuffling is allowed to take place, but it is.
That I would put, probably looking at my list, I would probably put this at 10 or 9. Probably 10. But listen, we don't get dragon movies often enough.
No,
Most people like dragons. Like dragons.
The dragon that we get is How to Train Your Dragon.
We get How to Train Your Dragon. We had that Sean Connery dragon, Dragonheart, which is bad, but I like it. We have House of the Dragon at the moment, which, oh my god. I know you're not watching it, but have you heard the shit that went down in episode 4?
I saw your instant reaction, but I have this thing that I'm like, but this is what Game of Thrones is based on as well, so I'm kind of like split.
No. No. Do you know what's so fucking interesting about this show is it's not the gore, it's not the obvious sex, it's kind of you saw Game of Thrones, didn't you?
Yeah.
Beginning to end. Do you remember the first time Arya Stark got her boobies out and you were like, nigga? It's like, I've seen you grow up as a child, I'm not comfortable. You know, there was nothing sexy about Arya Stark porking the blacksmith. You know what I mean? It was it was purposefully disarming. It was like, oh, this isn't horny or sexy or like, no. I feel like I'm watching my daughter have sex in a weird way. It's like, not cool, man. You know, that kind of yucky, I shouldn't be here and I'm a fly on the wall and there's no fucking window open for me to fly out of. That was the feeling I got from this one. Oh my word. Some shit happens and they don't even show you much. It's just all implied and it's like, fuck. Jesus. Ugh. But yeah, no, let's go with Christian Bale, Reign of Fire, cool dragon movie. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on it long. However, I will dwell on this. Pedro Santos.
Hold on. All right.
Yeah, what? Pedro Santos says, your guys' criteria is certainly weird tonight. Soon you'll have Mark Wahlberg and Tom Cruise is unlikely. Uma Thurman had a star performance in Kill Bill and she was far from a lead in Batman.
But she's in the film.
She's in the film.
She's on the poster.
She's on the poster. It's not her first action movie.
Yeah, it's that. That's the way. Like, trust me, it's. I get what people are saying, and did it lead to it? But no, she was in the action film as a lead. She was one of the key villains. She wasn't one of the henchmen. It wasn't Drew Barrymore or Sugar or Spice in Batman Forever. Do you know what I mean?
Now, even then, you could make an argument for it.
You could have. Like, she's in it. She's in it. But she even had as shit as it was, she was in an action scene in said action film. Like,
and as Francis Lalonde says, the semantics got Nico. Yes, they did.
Yeah. I mean, again, trust me, I was cursing you more than you were cursing you right now.
Yeah. Does John Travolta in Face Off qualify? Asks Mix Memorabilia.
Did Broken Arrow come first?
Pretty sure Broken Arrow came after.
Face Off could count them.
Face Off could count. I was thinking Broken Arrow as well. Now that's a shit film.
I couldn't get into Broken Arrow.
Really bad. Annoying because I like the people in Broken Arrow. Cool. You're number 4.
It could be where I draw for Broken Arrow. Because it comes back to Pedro's argument. Right? Here we go. Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley.
I have made my feelings on this very clear.
You've made it clear, but I see it as the unlikely for the action base from the original, which led to the action, just making the second film an action film. The fact that this was unexpected, the fact that it kicked down doors and opened barriers for the female superhero, and that people would even go as far as to say that she is the prime. I mean, even when we've done it for ourselves, like top female lead in terms of women in action. This was it. This was the character that opened the door, and it was completely unaware. Like, people didn't expect it. So yes, Alien is.
You could equally pull what's her face as Sarah Connor then. Same type of arc. Went from being damsel in distress to I will fuck you up.
Yeah. I know.
Linda Hamilton. Don't know why I was blanking on that.
I just feel, well, Sigourney done it first though. Alien came before any Terminator.
Doesn't matter. We're not talking about who did it first. We're
talking I know, but I just feel like if you're going to talk about and let's be fair, even though Sarah Connor kicks ass, and I'm talking this is Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2. She's not the hero. It's still Arnie takes the lead. Whereas this one, I believe, was the unexpected hero that led to, you know what I mean? It's John and the Terminator story into T2, right? As much as you respect the hell out of her and you know she's a kick-ass mama in T2, right? It's not as prevalent and as groundbreaking as what you got from Ellen Ripley in Alien, lead into Aliens. And it set the tone for the action-based female hero. And that's why I believe it earns its spot. Does it have to be in the Rushmore? Not necessarily.
I don't think it does earn its spot. Like, I'm very torn about this. I'm not going to make you do what you just did to me and pick a new one because I don't want you to go down the Broken Arrow route. But I'm going to echo what I echoed earlier, which Francis Lalonde is echoing here. The word, I question the unlikely aspect. Pedro goes on to say it was a surprise to have a female lead in an action film in 1986, therefore unlikely. Yeah, but she's been cast already.
I get that she had set tone from Alien. I get it. But it was the unexpected birth of an action hero from Alien that gives it to it.
But was she an action hero? Really? Was she? This is what I'm saying. If that's your argument, I'm going to poo-poo on it. She's one of the most iconic female leads in sci-fi movies. She's got one of the best action sci-fi franchises of all time, no doubt. If you better backtrack on that, because I don't consider Sigourney Weaver an action star.
No, I don't.
Sigourney Weaver is first and foremost a dramatic actress.
Yeah,
she has done action films. That is not her bread and butter.
No,
so withdraw the whole action star. It didn't breed an action star. But Tucky's saying here, Alien is a horror. Sorry?
Yeah, I'm saying a genre like it. You didn't have a female lead action star before. This is where, I get what you're saying. Not in Alien, yes.
But counter that, Francis Lalonde says Carrie Fisher in Star Wars, which came out 10 years before it. And although, again, I don't consider Star Wars an action movie, I'm just being pedantic here. Tucky says Alien is a horror, Aliens is action, but I'm not sure I'd consider her unlikely. I think the word unlikely is the killer here. Maybe just best first lead action roles.
But yes, in that case, Uma Thurman also qualifies. But this is where it felt like it was too late.
Pedro, no, absolutely. It's by our fish. No, Star Wars is not an action movie. I've said this repeatedly. I'm being very rigid with my definition of action tonight. Rowan Atkinson and Johnny English, that would count, but it's still a comedy.
But it sucks as well. It's an awkward one. It's an awkward one that I kind of sit and accept.
These are good. Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours. Do these count, guys? Eddie Murphy in about 48 Hours for sure. Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, action comedy. I'd allow it. It's still an action, but an action comedy.
Depends how you deem Fifth Element.
Pedro asks, if Batman and Robin is considered an action film, why not Star Wars? Well, comic book movie is a variation, is a subgenre of action. Yes, it's become its own genre now in the modern day, thanks to the MCU and DC pumping them out like it's their blood life. But then, and you keep on mentioning now, in 1986, X was the case. Then the comic book genre was a derivative subgenre of action.
Yeah,
Star Wars is very much its own genre, sci-fi and fantasy.
Here's the thing. I mean, you're going to highly disagree with this, but if you put in any of these films, right? This is the way I actually had to really break shit down. Yeah. If you put in the name of the film in Google, next to the year, it gives you a characteristic, right? Star Wars comes down to sci-fi. I don't actually know if I've done it for Aliens. I may come along like a total.
Star Wars is not fucking sci-fi.
Listen, just accept.
Really get butthurt.
Listen,
when I hear that
it doesn't
shit.
have action, so just leave it as that for the minute.
Okay.
Yeah, Aliens. See, Aliens is coming up as action sci-fi. It's a tough one. I mean, my pool, in case this didn't work, and I don't have the poster for it, which is going to be really annoying for when we do our countdown later on, would have been Bill Pullman for Independence Day. Which I was like, he doesn't do enough action in it, but he was the action star. So that Could
Jeff
be.
Goldblum. You could pick Jeff Goldblum.
He done The Fly, which is a horror slash action, isn't it?
Is The Fly an action? What the fuck? The Fly is pure horror.
The Fly, I don't know. The Fly's a weird film. I always hate
The Fly is horror. Pure horror, surely.
Horror
Tucky says
sci-fi.
Pierce Brosnan for Bond. Not unlikely because he done Remington Steele.
Yeah, he was Remington Steele. That's the problem. So it's your choice. I could either stick with Ripley.
Leave it. But and Tucky's with me. Fly is not action. It's
it was not.
Definitely not.
I saw the film once. I hated it, to be honest. There is no action in it, but it's weird, dumb shit. But anyway, yeah, I would sooner go for Pillman. He actually went up and shot someone. Anyway, actually, no, it was Goldblum, wasn't it, who went up there? Yeah.
Goldblum,
yeah. Interesting. Right. So that was my number 4. Over to you. So.
It was the pump from earlier, the one that Pedro can't get on board with, the Born Identity with Matt Damon. Now,
why?
Okay, so Pedro's argument, I get where he's coming from, but I don't think he's getting where we're coming from. What Pedro's saying is that stereotypically, how do young, good-looking, talented white males become action stars? They've got a slew of successful, studio-made, well-received blockbuster movies come out. Not action, but blockbusters. Blockbuster meaning produced for the masses in order to garner a huge amount of money, which Matt Damon had. Talented Mr. Ripley, fucking Good Will Hunting, fucking, I don't know why I keep saying fucking. Talented Mr. Ripley, Good Will Hunting, Rounders. These are all mass-produced, studio-made movies with very, very good-looking, young, talented white men. On Pedro's argument, these are the type of individuals who are groomed to be the next action star.
So why? One question.
I don't agree with him.
I'm not being disrespectful in this. Why is Hugh Grant not Superman?
Exactly. Why is Hugh Grant not Superman? I mean, look, we can go through. There's a long fucking list of good-looking white studio-produced male actors who are not action stars. For me, okay, I think we need to define what we're seeing as an action star here, and therefore why it would be unlikely. Someone who can whip ass, like throw down. Someone who, while throwing down, makes you believe that they're capable of doing that IRL. Keanu being a prime example. Like when Keanu throws, you're like, I believe that motherfucker's a bad motherfucker. Wesley Snipes. When he throws, it's like, yeah, I'm not fucking with Wesley. Tony Jaa. When he throws, you believe it. You know what I mean? And in order to believe it, you have to have a certain persona. And that doesn't just come from your movies. It comes from the way you look. It comes from the way you hold yourself. It comes from a multitude of things. The way I have seen Matt Damon up until that point in his career act in movies, nothing, despite the fact that everything Pedro is saying is true. He's good looking. He's talented. He's groomed by the studios. He's a blockbuster star. All true. Nothing on God's good earth made me ever believe that he would be able to adopt the levels of violence that he did in The Bourne. Like so that hand fighting he did. Fuck me.
Can I also add, why so much hate then for Robert Pattinson becoming Batman?
Correct. Because Twilight Boy.
But you get what I'm saying? It puts you into a category where certain people believe you're not capable. For all intents and purposes, people rolled their eyes as Jude Law being the villain in Captain Marvel, which is something I nearly drew for, but I just didn't think there was enough action within the film for him to be classified in that. Like, I appreciate what you're saying and unlikely, but based on the films that were previously there, you were categorized as one form of film star, and now you've entered a different realm. Like, for me, again, we go back into the trifecta that we previously had. Bruce Willis, okay, came from comedy, but Arnie and Sly were definitely action stars bred into comedy, you know? Wesley Snipes, for all intents, he's done a couple of other films, but you weren't shocked when, like, the guy who played a gangster ended up kicking ass. It was like, this is who he is. Those are more closer akin to the role by which they were doing. Even why, to a hesitation, and I shouldn't put it into it, you look at some of the madness that happens in Friday, a film yet to be seen. But do you get what I'm saying? It was like, okay, it's a gangster comedy. Okay, now he's in a kick-ass action film. Like, it's not directly pursued, but it's like, I could see him fucking with that realm. I don't directly think oh, you know what? Talented Mr. Ripley, he's gonna kick some ass. Not because he choked a man out. At the
You know
end of the
what I
film.
mean?
Made me
Is that,
think he's gonna
that
be
guy,
guy.
Will Hunting, I gotta go see about a girl. Yeah, let's teach him close quarters
And then
combat.
everybody
No.
like, oh, he got into a couple of fights in the film. Yeah, it
And look
wasn't
what
in
happened to
anything-
him. Fucking
Yeah.
Mini Driver had to clean up his cuts, remember?
It wasn't in anything that made me. And this is me watching it after I've watched Born Identity. Nothing made me feel like, yeah, he's my next hero. I get it. Now, if you're going to tell me that there might be an argument that he was in Saving Private Ryan, I think the fact that he was in the action scene in the film that, okay, could be dubbed one. He wasn't in the film enough for me to rely on him to be the action star. He would have had to have been Tom Hanks or Vin Diesel. Like, now you're a supporting cast member. Even though the film's named after you, you're not. It's kind of like Bill and Kill Bill.
I
Yes,
can
it's named
squash
after
this
you.
argument right now. Matt Damon was such an unlikely action star that even the Hollywood system inserted jokes about how unlikely he was into movies. I'm looking at you, 40-year-old virgin. I keep saying fucking tonight. I'm sorry. Steve Carell bellow aching, yelling in anger at Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd. They've got the Bourne Identity playing in the background on all of their screens. Paul Rudd disregards Steve Carell and goes, you know, I never really saw Damon as much of anything, least of all an action star, but he's kicking ass in this movie.
Yeah.
It's literally a joke in movies.
Yeah. Yeah, can't dispute that. Can't dispute that. So I believe it's warranted.
Of course it's warranted.
Yeah.
Absolutely warranted. Yes. Bourne Identity. My number 4. Your number 3.
Who would have believed Mary Poppins could kick ass? I'm talking Emily.
Sorry, what? Oh.
Sorry. Not Julie Andrews. Emily Blunt.
I was waiting for you to pull Julie Andrews. AJ, good man. That's also my number 3.
There we are. Yeah.
Oh, now this is my favorite action sci-fi movie of the 21st century. Come at me. I don't care. I fucking love this film so much.
I get it, bro. Like, I remember you saying it's something I need to come on board with. Like, how have I not seen it? And I embrace it. Like, it's got kick-ass. And it's one of those things that Emily Blunt is weird to me. That I really appreciate her acting, but she's somewhat of a chameleon. Like, some of the different roles. Like, again, we talk about her in this.
Sorry.
Go.
I must go back to Pedro's point here. AJ, you're not really going with unlikely then. Just with the first time they were cast in an action role. Denzel, no. It's unlikely that person would be cast in the role, though, Pedro. Denzel was unlikely at that stage of his career, as was Gina Davis in Cutthroat Island. First off, Cutthroat Island, not a fucking action movie. It's a swashbuckler, completely different thing.
Listen, I get it. It kind of crossed my mind because it came up because Long Kiss Goodnight kind of came into my mind, and I was like, well,
Long Kiss Goodnight, I would listen to. Long Kiss Goodnight, I would listen to.
Yeah, but I appreciate that Cutthroat Island came out first and it has action scenes with it in it. That makes it seem as an action film, but the film's just not good enough to catch my attention. Listen, I get what you're saying. It all depends on when the film came out. There are parts of Denzel that can be unlikely because he was cast as other stuff. Even though you really I would love to see him do this, I think he could pull it off. To the system, they never saw him as that. This is what
I still don't. Denzel's not an action star. No way.
Movies.
He's not an action star for me. He's a dramatic actor.
Do you know? But this is the thing. Even for me, for Denzel, even when I take something like Man on Fire, he's not gone into that element that makes me feel like this is an action movie. It's a drama. It's a deep drama that has got action scenes within it, but it's not. It's gritty. It's a gritty movie, but he's not exactly taking the torture scenes to punching and going through 125 men to prove a point. You know,
correct.
These are the elements that makes it somewhat difficult. Cutthroat Island just wasn't a good movie. Is it a unlikely star? Yes, I can't think of two. I mean, she's done A League of Their Own, for God's sakes. You don't expect the baseball player to start swinging a sword, but I just don't appreciate the film enough for it to be there for me.
I agree with all the above, but the comments are making me laugh. Pedro says, guess you guys like Doug Lyman then have Bourne Identity and Edge of Tomorrow. Yes. Gavin Mann says, you should have saved overrated films in this episode for Christmas there where we can all have a traditional holiday fight. Tucky says, if pirate movies count, Robin Williams' Pan is right up there. Francis Lalonde says, I'm now predicting that it might be a chilly day in Hades before there's another top 10 first episode.
The first was really a bitch. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie.
He is. I thought I'd leave people, considering we're not recording next week. I thought I'd be like, let's have some fun before we go. Testicle sweat and all.
Cool. Right.
It just said this. Tucky says Gina Davis was in The Fly too. Full circle.
I fucked up with The Fly. I admit that. For some reason, I thought there was not a single fight scene. I just really remember hating the film with some shit CG. But it's for its time. It's for its time, and I accept.
I like The Fly. I
did not enjoy that film.
Edge of Tomorrow is fucking superb, and I will never ever miss a moment to say, even though he wasn't in it much, he had such a good role in it. R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, man.
Should have said it when you brought up Aliens. Game over, man.
Yeah, should have.
Your number 2, please, AJ.
Fuck it, I can't even think of a build up to this. Chloe Grace Moretz. Hit girl. Kick ass.
Wasn't this her first role?
No, she'd done a couple of horror movies before, actually.
No shit. I'd never seen her in anything before.
I've not seen it, but even then, even if you do cast it as a first role, who would have believed that this young girl with her dad dressed as a superhero was going to be as violent, as offensive as she was?
You've gone meta with your unlikely here, but okay, go for it.
I mean, was it not unlikely? I mean, this is the way I've played it, even down to my number 1. It's unlikely as fuck.
But now you're fucking with the list big time. Because yes, while it's true to say that a little girl doing that sort of
that side of meta,
nutty violence.
There's two sides. I'm saying you watch the film and you're blown away, like what the fuck? Like she actually ends up being my favorite hero in the film. Is one of those parts.
Big Daddy for the win, bro. Cage is so good.
But on the other side, I did check the rest of her films, and she had done a load of horrors and other bits in between. Like this wasn't essentially her first film, but I'm just saying, either way, whichever way you play it, you did not expect that from her, and it's one of those that has built the franchise. But no, it wasn't her initial thing. She has done horror movies before, obviously.
Had you seen them?
Fuck no.
So why was it unlikely for you? As I said, you went a bit meta with this choice, but it's fine.
Possibly on that one, but it's still one to be considered. You can't. You've not seen the films, but you, as a horror fan, could appreciate that this chick from those horror films is now kicking ass in this film.
Were I to see them? Maybe.
But again, bro, it comes back to my Bruce Willis argument. I was very aware of him as an action star before I saw a single episode of Moonlight, but I'm aware of what it means within the grand scope of all of this. Okay. Same as Batman. I saw Batman before I saw Beetlejuice.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Meta.
Maybe. But it's acknowledging who they are and what they've done prior and how it falls into what's landed.
I'm going to do 3 things ashore in life this week. Death, taxes. It's not AJ talking about comic book movies this week. It's me. Because who would have thought the flubbly, jolly, wobbly, lovely guy from fucking Parks and Recreation would become Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy?
This is it. I'm not too
in
line.
No.
I'm not too in line with Chris Pratt's movies. I'm building the collection. I know Jurassic World, and I know this. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's done one before, and that's why I left him out.
This was his first action movie.
Yeah. Go, Chris.
He was the chubby guy from Parks and Recreation before this. He was lead singer in a band in Parks and Rec. AJ, you must see this fucking show called Mouse
I've seen a couple
Rat.
of them. I've seen a couple of them. It's just I can't. There's enough in there. You saying I have to see The Office before I've seen Parks?
Yeah, I mean, you just need to see The Office. Period. Best fucking comedy show I have ever seen. I love that show. Top 3 or 4 favorite show of all time for me, maybe The US Office. Definitely. Nothing brought me more joy than that in a very long time. And the ending's so perfect, so fucking pitch perfect. I don't know why people it wasn't a good ending. I'm just perfect ending. But yeah, man, fucking chubby boy from Mouse Rat has become jacked up Star-Lord. It's like, okay, motherfucker. The first time when they're hosing him down on the prison planet, and he goes 6-pack mode, I'm like, the fuck? Where did that come from? Whoa!
Guardians is a funny one as an action movie, though. Do you get where I'm going with that? Yes, by 4.
Pedro Santos. Chris Pratt was the bulky, athletic, young white male soldier in Zero Dark 30, which is a war movie, not an action movie.
I will play the devil's advocate of
Billy Mount, Steve Carell for the win every single time. I love the British Office, and yes, I will listen to the argument of, but the first season of the US Office is just a bait and switch ripoff of the UK Office. No doubt, no argument whatsoever.
Not every episode, but I've seen a shit ton of the UK Office, and I really appreciated it, and that's why
it's great.
I was really hesitant at taking on US Office because I've seen what they've done with the In-Betweeners. Ugh. But I keep hearing the noise that you need, and I've seen a few episodes of Steve Carell. I've always got a lot of love for Steve Carell, so I do need to really hammer that show.
Pedro, we will stand on opposing hills and proverbially shake each other's hands on this. I do not agree. It is not an action thriller. Zero
Pedro, according to the Google, and this is the way I'm just working.
The Google.
I was going to say the Google review, but I stopped.
The Google. I love it. The Google.
I've said Google so many times. My bloody
the internet.
My phone has lit up because I said the G word so many times. But Zero Dark 30 is listed as a war/thriller. So it depends how you determine. It depends how you determine war.
I mean,
what category?
War is its own category. Also, if that's an action movie, then it sucked because there was no action in that film. So I love Zero Dark 30.
I'm not opposed to what you're saying, but off memory, I remember a shit ton of jokes and a lot of like space fighting. Imagine what I would call action by comic book movie definition. Yes, it falls under it for me, but in the same breath, I'm like, is it what I would call an action movie? I'm not disputing it being on the list. I'll go with it. But do you get where I'm going?
Sci-fi, space opera. Maybe I've got done for a reach here. I don't have anything to fall back on. We can move on. Billy Mount says, Nico, was Jurassic World before or after Pratt the Guardians? After. And Taki says, can't be bothered with the US Office. Can't improve on perfection. You're quite right. And it is perfect. And less is more. Ask my wife. She would disagree.
Well played. Well played, bro. Sorry.
Pedro's got me here, you know. If Zero Dark 30 is a war film, why is 13 Hours not? You got me there by the bollocks, bro. I'll tell you what, because Michael Bay directed it. Ha!
I was going to say, it depends on the action. I mean, here we go. It depends.
He's got me, though. He's literally got me by the bollocks there. War film. He's got me. I can't argue that.
Where the other one said war, I can't remember. This one says war/action. The other
13 Hours.
30. Yeah, 13 Hours says war/action.
Thank you, the Google.
It was meant to be the Google review, but I came into defense mode.
No, but banter aside,
Zero Dark 30 is war/thriller.
Yep. Banter aside, Pedro's got me there. Based on how we've been doing the list, and it is going to indeed be a cold day in Hades before we do a first or unlikely episode for a very long time again. But oh my god, I love the disagreements.
Put the first because the alert came up, silver screen dude thing. I bear in mind, I try not. I'll see the post. I will not get influenced, and I will not. I do my own research. I was like, he really had to fucking put the first in caps, didn't he? Fuck him. But yeah, it happened. It's done. Okay, would you like my worst? Is that where we're at now?
Billy Mount says the actor who played Jim did marry the famous Brit. Yeah. Didn't he just? Who, by the way, I don't think she's going to be Susan Storm. I don't think so.
Oh, God, is that what people are hoping for? I mean, she would be a good Susan Storm.
She'd be her and Krasinski. They'd be perfect together as the two members, as two of the Fantastic Four members. That is what people are hoping for. That's why he was in Doctor Strange too. I don't think you're going to see him again. No, I think you'll see him direct. Fantastic.
Do you know what I think? Four. I think do you know what they might do? I think they're going to fuck with the world, and they'll still make her Susan Storm, but not give us the Mr. Fantastic that they want.
I'm with them. Office is amazing, and I think the US one is better than the UK one. It is. Is better because
a lot of golden moments.
Got more time to breathe.
Yeah, I had a lot of golden moments for the UK ones. I'm not going to shit on it. and it was the influence too. But I respect and I want to finish the US Office. I want to do that.
So good. It does take a bit of a nosedive after Carell leaves, but then it picks up again.
Nice.
But it's such a good fucking show. Your worst.
Right. It's the one that denied me Uma Thurman as the bride.
Yeah.
Okay. / Beatrix Kiddo being able to come on the list, because before she done that, I mean, Paycheck was in there, but that was more of a Ben Affleck film than it was the Uma Thurman movie. Uma Thurman was Dr. Pamela Isley in the shit show that is Batman and Robin. And for that, I was not able to put Kill Bill in the list. And for that, I will never forgive this film.
Because you really liked it before that.
Listen, it wouldn't have been worse. It would have been bad. Yeah.
We don't have a side list for that, I'm afraid, AJ.
No, but you get what I'm saying. It wouldn't have made the list. I think we were at what is Stifler's movie?
American Pie.
No. The
American Pie 2.
The one he done as a kung fu artist. I can't remember the name now. I've blanked.
Shaolin.
Yeah.
Shaolin Hustle, I think.
No. It's
Stifler and Chow Yun Fat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Bulletproof Monk.
Okay. Shaolin Hustle. That's a better title.
Either way, that probably would have taken worse. That was one of those that was like, it can't happen. However,
poor Stifler.
Yeah. However, let's give him some credit, Sean William Scott. Let's give him.
I know you've literally in that sentence highlighted why he never became anything more. Yeah. It was so sad because I love that. I love that guy, man.
But yeah, because that film denied me the right to say Uma Thurman as the bride. It wouldn't have been number one. It wouldn't have been number one because unlikely is fucking unlikely, right? That was denied to me. So fuck you. Fuck you, Batman and Robin.
Okay. I get where you're coming from. Are you ready for me to piss off the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck this film. Point Break.
So I found out this was on Netflix, and I'm not going to lie to you. I started it while at work. Yes, I was doing double duty. I was working and looking, and I was like, I'm not going to get into this before the end of today's show. I'm not doing it.
It's so funny you mentioned that, AJ. I found out that it was on Netflix. Now, Anya and I have a very because let me tell you, see if you've been down this route with Tammy. You're fighting over what to watch, and then when the other person wins, the person who lost ends up being a little moaning bitch. Me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm the
because some of the shit that the other person picks, it's like, why?
Trust me, you don't even want to be in this household, bro. I'm telling you, because the stuff I'm like, what? Really? I had to watch this, and this is why I had to fight to make you watch Iron Man for the MCU that you now love. I had to watch this. Yeah. It's
like we all think our taste is better in entertainment than our partners. In AJ, in my case, it is. It legitimately is. And to all of you men out there, it is. You know exactly what it is. Yeah, I just made it a sexist thing. Don't care. I'm not sexist. I'm just joking about it. Probably makes it worse. I'm not a man of conviction, apparently. But. We have a relationship agreement, Tanya and I, because we had some. She was like, all you do is watch comic book movies. I'm like, do I look black? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, my name's not AJ. I actually brought you into our argument at home.
I was like, where is he going with this shit?
No. I brought you into it. I'm like, she's like, I don't know what you're referencing. I'm like, well, thanks for watching the show, baby. So that, of course, made the argument that much worse. You see how we're taking shots at each other here, little behind the peek into our life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I put on Daniel Day-Lewis shit. I put on Wes Anderson shit. I put on Oscar shit. I put on good shit, mostly. And now and then, to humor you, I'll put on a really cheesy action movie because I know you like them. I don't like cheesy action movies. I'm like, Con Air, shut up. Like, and you see the argument escalated it. So, well, what do I make you watch this so bad? Dream Home Makeover. What else? Love is Blind.
Oh, God. Thankfully, she doesn't watch those kind of shows.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck my life so very, very hard.
But like Tam has watched all 3 Kissing Booth movies. Like,
that shit. And I'm like, there's nothing redeeming about this. This isn't a guilty pleasure. This is just bad at this point. So Anya and I have this very good agreement now. Oh, by the way, before we continue, guys, your Rushmores or your top 10s, comment down below, please. I want to know what everyone's top 4 or top 10 first action movies from an unlikely actor are. Comment down below, and I shall now ramble on. So, after having numerous fights in recent weeks, now bearing in mind our entertainment time is rather sacred, given that we have a little one who's decided that she's forgotten how to sleep, our entertainment time is limited. So I made a suggestion. I'm like, why don't we do one night on, one night off?
Fair.
You pick one night. I'll shut the fuck up. I'll not be on my phone. I'm not going to bitch. I'm not going to moan. I will engage with the show because you picked it and you obviously like it. And when it's my turn, you extend me the same fucking courtesy. She says, one condition. I went, what is it? She said, please no horror movies. I went, that's fair. Because I know you legitimately...
Yeah, if you can't do it, you can't do it. That's fair.
That's absolutely fair. So we have this agreement. And so a few nights ago, it was my turn. And like you, I found out this was on Netflix. And I was like, I know I don't like this movie. But since we've been doing the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast, people have been giving me shit about not liking Point Break. So I said to Anya, I would like to watch Point Break. She said, why? It is terrible. I went, I agree, but I need to. She said, is this a podcast thing? I went, what was the agreement? No questions, no bitching, no moaning. She went, fine, put it on. I meant, not that I need your permission, but yes, I'm putting it on. It's my night. It's like cheat day. I'll eat what the fuck I want. So I put this thing on, and Jesus, it's bad. Like, I'm starting to wonder when people say they like Point Break, is it the way that I say I like The Room? Like, is it ironic? Is it like ironic, like it's so bad it's good type way?
Because it just felt cheesy from the absolute beginning. From the absolute beginning.
Okay.
Him in the rain and picking up the gun and pumping it. I was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Keanu, his acting. Oh my word, it's bad in this. He's still in the early stages of his acting career, and I think he's still leaning on his chops from comedy. He's putting too much emphasis on certain consonants, D's notably. And you know me, it's one of those things where when you hear it, it's like, oh dear. Like there's that particular line at the end when he's got Bodhi on the beach.
I've never got that, bro. As I said, I stopped.
Bro, Bodhi escapes. He tracks him down at the end, and Bodhi's found the radical wave man, the one that he's been waiting for. And I am not lying to you. Okay, so that whole shaka bra thing, the whole movie is about that. Now, I can tell you, as a guy who loves to fucking surf, fuck this film. Yeah? There is nothing shaka bra about these boys.
7.2. Huh? Like you look
Suck
at
my dick.
7.2 IMDb before we offend anyone.
Oh no, perfect. Because Dickface, who is attacking
that's what I'm saying.
The Dickzit who was attacking JTE earlier was an IMDb guy. So that's
why I put them all out. 4.5 out of common sense. Like this film is getting like love.
And I don't get it. I watched it. It is poorly acted. It is stupid. The plot does not make sense. It is riddled with plot holes. The acting is honestly some of the worst shit I have ever seen. You got to go down, Brody. You lied to people. People are dead. It's like, stop putting so much emphasis on all of your fucking letters as if you were in a comedy, please. It is horrendously bad, this film. And it's like they steal money from the bank at the end. And if you've seen, and if you're fucking fresh enough with the movie, you'll know what I'm saying. Some of them died. They end up in a plane. 2 of them are jumping out the plane. Why are they not all taking money bags? Dumb shit. I mean, oh, bro.
Oh, mate.
Billy Mount, I believe I've just explained very well why I hated Point Break. It is awful.
You know, one of my sins, and I swear to you, I hate myself for it. And it's one of those things, irrelevant of how bad the film is. Short of Elf, but even Elf, I think I will give a second chance. I need to finish it. I need to be like, this is bad, but how does it end? So I will finish this film.
Point Break, by all means, finish it, bro.
But I don't see it turning. I don't see it.
Big man, Matt Riddle is watching this fucking movie and going, "It's too many bros."
I believe it. I believe
it. It is horrendous. Oy. Pedro Sanchez says, how do you guys see Dalton being cast as Bond? That was a bold move in the mid-80s. Could qualify as unlikely, even if in hindsight he was great. I do not know. Full disclaimer, I do not know enough about Mr. Dalton's career.
I did look. He was in another action film. I don't know how prominent. But I'm aware he was in another action film. Not that I've seen it. So it made it weird, but it's like, what was his genres? That was one I couldn't go deep into. So I couldn't answer it.
Billy Martin says, Nico, did you think Roadhouse is a better Swayze movie than Point Break? Yes.
By the sounds of it, I could easily leave Roadhouse.
Nico, you like Michael Bay? Oh, fuck you, Francis. Ha ha. Nico, you like Point Break? Oh, fuck you. Oh, God. Maybe Nico would have liked Point Break if Michael Bay had directed it. So clearly I've made an impression tonight.
Well done.
Fucking
the trolling continues.
Troll away. Yeah, exactly. Keanu Reeves channeling Kirk Lazarus. Exactly fucking right. Oi. Fast and Furious copied Point Break and did it better.
Yeah, you can again, Den, you just said US Office is better than UK Office.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch inspiration from something and fuck it the fuck up. By the sounds of it, that's what they've done here.
Billy Mount, Nico, have you seen the Point Break remake? I've heard it's worse than the original. 'Tis very bad. Both are shit.
There's a remake.
Gary Busey was great in Point Break. Yes, he was. I'll actually agree with that. Gary Busey was fun in Point Break. No argument from me there.
Cool.
One actor doth not save a movie.
No.
Yeah, cool. So your best then, please, AJ.
Because this was... I'm going to make a sentence. I'm going to say something about this guy after in a minute. Just in hindsight of everything that's been happening. But this gentleman was the most unlikely because he does the Shakespearean stuff. He does the Bridget Jones stuff. And
we've got the same one.
Never did I think that him saying, manners maketh the man, would have me thinking that...
Once again, you put a "the" in there that wasn't there.
Manners maketh man, fuck you. Whatever.
He's building up to the big speech and he's stuck into it. I love him.
You had to cut me in the speech where I was about to say Colin Firth in Kingsman, The Secret Service. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Colin Firth in Kingsman, The Secret Service is also my number one. Now, correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but would anyone like to disagree with me here? The only person I saw actually put this up on Twitter, to my fucking shock, was Andy Hart.
Wow.
What? Die hard. Fucking Bruce Willis for days. Matt Damon for days. Like, one person I saw...
Come on. Like,
put up Colin Firth. And I just think people forgot it. That's the only thing I can think of.
If you were going to talk unlikely, that is unlikely. Now, here's a question that I was thinking of. Now, it may be in cold taste or what have you, because I haven't seen the film, but I'm aware of what the film's about. Which TV channel will be smart enough to buy the King's Speech for this Christmas? Considering this will be the first King's Speech we have in over 70 years.
BBC, 100%.
But yeah, there we go.
100%.
That is something I thought of. I was like, yeah, we can have two King's Speeches in one day for the first time.
You disqualified Denzel, citing he's not an action star. Neither is Colin Firth. I did not disqualify Denzel, citing he's not an action star. I said I didn't see Denzel as an action star. And I also don't see Colin Firth as an action star. But however, we're not talking about action stars. We're talking about action movies. And a guy who, as you have already pointed out in one of his other movies, AJ, Bridget Jones, there is a street fight between Colin Firth and Hugh Grant. Now that fucking solidifies to me that this guy's a pussy-o. Then I saw Kingsman: The Secret Service, and I saw that church scene, and I was like, yo, this guy's a dangerous motherfucker.
Like, let's be honest, yeah? You can watch a lot of films and see guys who aren't meant to be in there. And like, take Phil Coulson in freaking Avengers. Like, he was not the hero, and you have a bit of heartbreak. This one was like, oh my God, the mental's gone. Like, this guy knew shit. And you were like, no, like, that was a mistake to kill him. That it was like, wow. Like, him locking a room and being like, I'm going to teach y'all a lesson. And you're like, fuck off. And you go back to it. You're like, not the guy who was doing fisticuffs with Hugh Grant.
This is what I'm saying. And he goes beast mode like Leonidas. Yeah.
It was absolutely unseen. It was unpredictable. You would not believe that in an action film, Colin Firth is the guy you're rooting for. And that is what makes him an unlikely action hero.
It's insane. The Bridget Jones, what was it? Outside. Should I bring my
what?
Should I bring my pistols or my dueling swords? It's the most pussy-o fight I've ever seen. It's like when a guy
actual comedy gold.
It's one of the best things ever. It's like when a guy balls his fist up, but then hits like that. You know, it's like not even a rabbit punch. It's like a slap, a fist slap. You know, that's what that fight was. You know, hesitant. Yeah, meh. It's like when you know you're. It's like imagine you're wearing a Speedo and someone says to you jump into ice water. You're like, yeah. That's how the fucking Colin Firth Hugh Grant fight was. Then you see the Kingsman, and it's like, sorry, what the fuck? What the fuck am I watching?
He actually pulls off shit. Yeah.
And even the pub scene, as you said, you know, with the fucking umbrella, and they're like, what the fuck am I watching? Yeah.
This is nuts.
And no one mentioned it other than Andy. Shock. Neither can I. And it's an automatic Rushmore entry for me.
Yeah.
But we've only had 3 people give us their Rushmores from what I can see.
I think it's been very difficult for people. It's been a very difficult one.
However, sorry.
Tucky, I saw that you asked a question. So at this time, I would like to, for anyone just catching us on TikTok or Instagram and would like a quick summary. This is our top 10 first action movies from an unlikely hero. So you may know him from comedy, but let me start that again.
I think you should start that again.
Here are our top 10 first action movies from an unlikely actor. Yes, you may know him as an action star, but he started off in comedy. Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Before Batman, he was Beetlejuice. That's Michael Keaton in Batman. He's an Academy Award winner. Nicolas Cage. First action movie was actually The Rock. He's into comedy. It was Fresh Prince. Will Smith, Bad Boys. Believe it or not, Owen Wilson behind enemy lines actually delivers some real good action. Matt Damon. He was not judged as an action star before The Bourne Identity. Controversial choice, Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. Emily Blunt, Live, Die, Repeat, a.k.a. Oh, shit. What's the film?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Chloe Grace Moretz, Kick-Ass. Thanks to Uma Thurman being in this movie, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, I could not put her in Kill Bill. And in at number 1, Colin Firth as Harry, the Kingsman, Secret Service.
You had to get that Uma Thurman thing in there, didn't you?
Had to.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but fuck it. Go for it.
We're going to work our way around that. Okay, my top 10 list of first action movies from an unlikely actor. In at number 10, we've got George Clooney in From Dusk Till Dawn. It's for one moment, it's a gangster movie. Next, it's vampires. In at number 9, likewise with AJ, I've gone with Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice. Now he's Batman. In at number 8, Adrian Brody, Wes Anderson's muse in Predators, the second best Predator movie. Fight me. In at number 7, we've likewise AJ got The Fresh Prince, Mike Lowry in Bad Boys with Will Smith. In at number 6, who didn't thought that Jim from The Office would have become this bad, big mofo in 13 hours? In at number 5, because I didn't remember Batman Forever, I have put Uma Thurman as Kill Bill. In at number 4, I have got Matt Damon in Bourne Identity, a guy so unlikely that the 40-year-old virgin actually made a joke about how unlikely it was. Likewise, in at number 3, I've got Mary Poppins in Edge of Tomorrow. Emily Blunt is awesome in this. In at number 2, the chubby guy from Parks and Recreation is actually in an action movie. Crazy. Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy. My worst, hands down, is the steaming pile of rancid cesspool that is Point Break. And my number 1, like AJ, Colin Firth, Man is Maketh Man, The Kingsman.
And again, Francis, thank you for the trolling. Yes, it's Kingsman Secret Service. Yes, I did put The Kingsman. Actually, we both said The Kingsman, but yeah.
I did.
Yeah, well played, Francis. Well played. You got us there. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. Francis, you did. I did recognize your speech that said you confess. Francis Lawn says, I confessed early, didn't really give this topic much research. It was a tough one. It is a tough one. Okay, so some of the selections that we have. RJ Skarenki says Matt Damon, The Bourne Identity, John Travolta, Broken Arrow, Bruce Willis, Die Hard, Cindy Crawford, Fair Game. I've not seen Fair Game, to be fair, but Cindy Crawford, I'm here for. Go for it, bro.
Got it.
Kevin Mann says Just a Rushmore this week, Die Hard, Bruce Willis, Bourne Identity, Matt Damon. No, but this is a film I wanted to see, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Odin Kirk,
AJ Vision. AJ Vision.
But I didn't have AJ Vision with me this week.
I know.
Karate Kid, Marita, Honorables are Batman Keaton, and Scott Pilgrim, Michael Cera. Scott Pilgrim was another one I wanted to see. And Pedro Santos says Nicolas Cage, The Rock, Bruce Willis, Die Hard, Sigourney Weaver, Aliens, Adrian Brody, Predators, Bob Odenkirk, Nobody, Richard Burton, Where Eagles Dare, Uma Thurman,
nice.
Kill Bill. I have one argument in that. And Taki says Die Hard, Taken, Hot Fuzz, and Batman. No, one definitely would not have made my list. And I believe Taken, Neeson had done a few bits before, even though some
Neeson did so many movies before Taken that were action. Fuck it. We're going back to the whole Star Wars debate now, but he did that superb action scene with Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. He was in Rob Roy. Neeson did plenty of action before Taken.
Yeah.
Taken just solidified him as the whoop-ass grandfather.
Yeah. And yes, Pedro, you're right. He did Darkman. And I think he's also in that film. Was he in The Shadow? I think he's in The Shadow. Someone else.
Shadow.
No. The Shadow was Ian McKellen, who I nearly put in as McNeil.
Rushmore.
Right. Here we go. So.
Both are number ones for sure.
Yes. Colin Firth, Kingsman.
Leaving Die Hard off, yes?
I can listen to that.
It's a deleted movie, so...
But that was deleted. I thought it was with Avengers. I didn't think.
No, as in it's deleted from ever going on a Rushmore unless the 3 other ones are on there.
Fair
it's
enough.
Shawshank, Die Hard, Jaws.
Okay.
Shawshank, Die Hard, Jaws, Goodfellas, Star Wars. You don't put those on a poll. It's boring.
It feels so baked, but Matt Damon, Bourne Identity.
Yep.
Okay.
Much to Pedro's dismay.
Sorry, Pedro.
Sorry, Pedro.
I think a lot of people would go with it, to be honest. Will Smith, Bad Boys.
Fine with that.
Emily Blunt.
I'll want to say Uma Thurman because the internet will not listen to your Batman Forever argument. And I do not have space in 140 characters to explain it. That way you get your girl in there, bro.
I do, but I'm listen.
You feel dirty. Do you need a cold shower?
I feel like it just takes one picture of Pamela Isley because if I'm sure the same people who say it will say Batman goes in. You can't have Michael Keaton and then say Uma Thurman's valid.
George Clooney from Dusk Till Dawn.
Over Emily?
No, fuck no. Emily Blunt, Edge of Tomorrow.
The other one is Nick Cage and The Rock.
Fuck no.
Pedro, I like your statement about making it 2 men and 2 women, but I can't. I can't put Uma Thurman in.
Put Uma in, put Uma in, put Uma
No,
in.
you know it's you know it doesn't. It
I
can't.
don't entirely agree with it, but I see I see where you're coming from.
It's
I would take Will off and put Uma in. I would take Will off and put Uma in. Do it. You know you want to.
I want 3 people to say yes or no. First 3, go for it.
Should Uma Thurman be on the Rushmore for Kill Bill? Yes or no? 3 answers. Go. And while we are waiting for those 3 answers, I know you want to do this, AJ. You should do it.
I don't.
You actually don't want to do it because of your...
don't, because I feel the point is there. So
Gavin Mann says no. Pedro says yes. Mixed Memorabilia says yes. You are losing 2-1. What is the next answer? Is it a no or is it a yes? Oh, it's a tie. No. We need one more. Next answer breaks it. We need one more answer from someone else. Francis, I think you're the tiebreaker here. Harry's boy, come on. Break the tie. Then the tag. Uma Thurman.
Oh,
yeah.
But Tucky came in first.
You said first to 3.
So Tucky was there. Tucky's put a couple. I don't know how you guys can break this down.
You said first to 3.
Yeah, fair enough. But
it's fucking vexed. This is the madness of the Movie Mount Rushmore. You're actually, I know. You're actually angry at a film you want to be in there, being in there.
Because the basis of you putting in freaking caps.
No, it makes great, isn't it? It's fucking
makes
great.
No freaking sense.
Don't let it bother you.
Gavin,
look how angry he is.
It's logical sense. It's nothing more than logical sense. You can't justify by putting first, as in this was their first appearance. She wasn't a supporting actor. She's on the freaking poster. Performing action, shit though it may be.
Pedro Sanctos I says, there's been a lot of subjectivity as to which films are considered action. So we could consider Batman and Robin as not an action film? AJ? Ha!
But then we accept Michael Keaton as Batman as an action film.
AJ Nico, wasn't Stallone considered unlikely before First Blood? Yeah, I mean, he'd done Rocky. That's not an action film.
Yeah, it's not an action movie, but you knew he was into the combat. I know it's stupid, but it doesn't defer. You
know what, AJ? You choose. Our podcast, we've heard the people.
If Batman is an action movie, then ultimately Batman and Robin is too.
We've heard the people. You've heard me. Your spot. Over to you. Either way, you lose here. If you put her on, you're breaking yourself. If you don't put her on, you're a sexist bigot.
No, fuck sexist bigot. No, because I acknowledge her film where others
just sexist, yes. There you go. 2 men, 2 women, says Pedro. Either way, you lose, my friend. I love this show so much.
Watch this fucking film win.
Exactly.
No, on that basis, I can't do it because principle is principle.
Oh, principle will kill you, bro.
I would die on this sword. No, I'm sorry. Like I regret.
Kneel to the steel.
Fuck that. Yeah, we all saw what happened in Cardiff with that shit. Yeah, no, sorry. Fuck it. No, I'm gonna have to stand ground on this, guys.
You really want to kneel to the steel, yeah? Okay.
Where were we?
Pedro Sanctos be like, put Kill Bill against Die Hard. Spoiler: Die Hard wins hard.
No, sorry, Will's back in.
He's done it too. He's fucked himself. I love it.
It's based on the principle.
Oh, fuck myself. I don't give a shit. It's principle, motherfucker.
Bro, I've actually defended your cause more than anyone else's right now, yeah?
How is it mine?
Because you were the one who wanted to put first in fucking big caps, followed by everything else you've done.
Where do you see big caps? I see the title above. There's no big caps.
Would you like me to retweet it just for the world to see it one more time? In fact, just do that to everyone who says it. Just put a picture of the thing and it says first in fucking caps.
So you following what I do on Twitter? How dare you?
Well, who's going to be fucking voting? Not the same Twitter people?
Ladies and gentlemen, the official movie Mount Rushmore of, in capitals, first action movie from an unlikely actor in no particular order is
Colin Firth, Kingsman.
Our second entry is
Matt Damon, Born Identity.
Our third entry is
Emily Blunt, Live, Die, Repeat.
Our final entry into the movie Mount Rushmore of first action movie from an unlikely actor is
Will Smith, Bad Boys. I'm sorry, guys.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
I have to follow the rule. I would have put that shit on there. It would have been top 4. Colin Firth still wins, but it is what it is.
One of life's great pleasures is seeing you happy, my friend, but equally one of life's great pleasures is seeing you pulled in every direction.
I feel bad for putting it out to a vote. Putting it out to a vote makes me feel
You put it out to a vote, the vote agreed with me, and then you fucked the vote, fucked me, and fucked yourself.
I feel bad
Amazing.
for not people to that. But the rules are the rules. The parameters of this podcast, blame him for being so stupid with the fucking parameters. It's not me, right? But I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is.
Blame this motherfucker, not me. It's not like me who changed my mind and didn't listen to a vote. Fuck that guy.
Thank you, Tucky. I'm going to end this debate. Uma Thurman was in 1991's Robin Hood, not Prince of Thieves.
Now we can all go home as friends.
Francis wins with the comment of the night. I think this is the main one to end it on. The parameters got AJ. Yes.
No, Pedro.
Yes, Pedro. Go for it. I trumped the world.
Just to note, AJ asked for a vote to disregard the election result. Down with democracy, hey?
Let's storm the hills. Anyway, we've already
kneel to the steel.
I will die on that sword, I swear to God.
You are going to die on that sword, that's fine. By the way, spoiler alert, Matt Damon's going to wreck everyone here.
Yeah.
But yeah, wrap it up, my friend.
What's the third in this trilogy of conflict? Ask Gavin, man. It would be very interesting. Yeah.
Where could we go with this? I mean, we've got our one for after I get back, don't we?
Yeah, which is quite poignant, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, some good shit.
Hold on. Just so we don't say it wrong. One or two? In my list, I've got number 2, but I don't mind going with number 1.
It's one. Brother, we did the fucking dates.
Do you know what? I put them in a list and I put them in order, but it's fine.
27th of September, the first one.
Okay, cool. Right. Yes, then I acknowledge that's coming soon. Right, okay. We did say 11:30, so I've still got a bit of time. Right, okay.
No. We're going to call them in and say, go now or don't come. I'm not waiting half an hour.
I'm just saying, I'm still ahead of time, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing. I'm defending my case. I'm in a defensive mood. The you people thing, it's still triggered. Anyway, here we go.
You're a regular CM Punk, aren't you? I don't like being defensive. Sure you don't, Punk.
I start triggered, I end triggered. But anyway, guys, right. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you. And normally I do listen to you, but I had to follow the parameters. The parameters got me. I'm not anti-democracy. But thank you very much. As always, please tell
just
5
behaves
people
that way.
To tell 5 people. Fuck you. Just tell 5 people to tell 5 people about the Movie Mount Rushmore. We are available absolutely everywhere. Yes, we are here on YouTube. We are also available on any podcast platform that you're looking for. That includes Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Geo7, and search for Movie Mount Rushmore. We are absolutely available there. Yeah, just spread the word, guys. It's absolutely available. And once again, how do you vote for the first action movie from an unlikely hero? Head on over to @MovieMT_Rushmore. But more importantly, JT at We Love Movies at Movie Polls for You. That's the place we'll be retweeting, and that means that's where you get to vote. Really appreciate it. Nico, what else would you like to add?
Just please remember, guys, that there is no episode next week because yours truly is going to film in Egypt. So I'm gone for a week. We are back on the 27th of September, and we will be doing the top 10 movies with one-word titles. Very good episode.
And that doesn't count. Yeah,
that does definitely not count.
Omen,
one word.
The Changeling, all of that doesn't count. And also no names. No names. Okay?
No names. That's another thing. So we say again, guys, no episode next week. We are back on the 27th of September. We will be doing top 10 one-word movie titles, excluding names. And that's about it.
That's the one. Bit thirsty?
Yes. Remember, if you have liked this show, and if you like the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast in general, we are available right here on our YouTube channel, Silver Screen Dudes. Please do like the video, share the video, hit the subscribe button. Please find us on all podcast platforms that AJ has just mentioned. We've been doing this now for over 200 episodes. If you like our content for literally less than the price of your daily Starbucks or coffee or Red Bull or whatever the fuck it is you drink, you can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. The link to that is in the description below on both podcast and video. And we hope you'll support the channel.
That's the one, guys. Thank you very much. Catch you in 2 weeks' time. And until then, we out. See ya.
See ya.